Off though. Hey, it's Sean. We're dealing with a little bit of economic data. We were touching on the simple fact that we had a whole backlog of economic data to dig into. Here comes September non-farm payrolls, 119,000, much higher than expected. 119 versus 50,000 was the number there. Not refreshing here, but just hearing it in my ear again. 119,000 versus 50,000 on the overall number there. There it is. You can see 119 versus 50, 4.4 on the unemployment rate versus 4.3. The participation rate, a lot of people were talking about this one yesterday, 62.4 versus 62.3%. So a little bit of an uptick. Again, this is going back to September. So preface this with a gigantic asterisk, I think at this point. Non-farm payrolls private, just hearing this one in my ear as well, 97,000 coming through here versus 40,000 expected there. So huge print to the upside there. Again, back in September, remember, came out 2 days ago, and then they were talking about it yesterday as well. October, probably they'll just say, meh, we don't need to talk about October, and we'll just skip through to next month. So at least a little bit of jobs data to deal with ahead of more economic data on the inflation side of things at the end of the week, and then going into next week as well. A whole bunch of stuff on the Philly Fed business economic conditions coming through there as well. 49.6 on the overall number there. The Philly Fed employment rate was 6 versus 4.6. As you saw, Miss Adara is beside me this morning. Sharif off for vacation. Where did he go? Cabo?
I think he said Cabo, but I didn't even know he was going on vacation until he mentioned it on the recap. So
I think it was a very last minute type of thing. He has family over on the West Coast in California, so wanted to go visit his sister before he went down to Cabo. So we wish him well. Here goes the market to the upside, even more than we were dealing with initially, 1.6% ahead of that jobs data. But here we go, taking out the highs on the back of Nvidia. Just an absolute monstrous report last night. Yeah,
great report there from Nvidia. Truthfully, like if anyone was looking for any kind of weakness there, it was really hard to spot. As Jensen Huang, CEO, said, and I'll quote him, Blackwell demand is, quote, off the charts. He did say that H20 sales in China are insignificant, but we already knew that, so that wasn't super shocking. I think he prepped us really well for that report, and the market understandably likes it. These HPC, high-performance compute names are also doing really well this morning. Your IRENs, your NBIS, your CIFR type plays. And I do really quickly want to mention as well, Brendan, with regards to employment, we know that one of the biggest things that these Fed members have been giving as their reason to maybe speed up the cutting of the rates is weak employment. That's not what we saw here in September. The fact that we're not getting October data, that I think also maybe adds to the question of, do we get this rate cut?
We'll just skip right over it. We don't need to talk about October. We also just got U.S. jobless claims there for the week of November 15th. So 220 versus 227. So a little bit of a downtick offsetting, again, September jobs data, non-farm payrolls. Again, if you missed it or just joining a little bit late, much higher than expected, indicating all kinds of strength in the employment market. Again, going back to September, not anywhere close to a recent data point. Here's Nvidia right now, just chopping around in the pre-market here, holding every single part of that giant move from after the close last night, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You know what?
And what a good morning it is.
I don't know if you're in here. I just forgot to check Day Trader LA. But 304.
We didn't see him yesterday.
304. We didn't see him in the afternoon when Google hit, Alphabet hit 295. Well, it's above 300 now, so I would imagine, I don't know if you're in there, but bang, I know you got to be happy with that for sure. We appreciate all our viewers, but let's be real. We're rallying behind Day Trader LA on that Alphabet position, because why not? Why do I even have Coinbase up? Who cares about Coinbase right now? There was news in the afternoon on that stock. Who cares?
Right.
Alphabet, fresh highs, up 3.5%, actually almost 4%, and you're making some all-time highs. Thank you, Nvidia. Nvidia up 5%. Well, Nvidia is Nvidia. The only thing to keep in mind here is, and we were mentioning this in the aftermarket show, this ticked to almost 7% and then pulled back, and there was that big seller at 195. We saw it worked for a while. The seller at 195 eventually won out. Then, of course, you had the bump back into the call. It gives you an obvious here we got to hold. We've seen this gap up before. We're less than the expected move. If we don't hold 195, that can be at least a little bit of gap fill trouble, and start thinking about some ancillary names out there. Like AMD's up, I think, actually a little bit, maybe just as much. This is up 4%. It was up, actually was closer to 5% at one point, but up 4%. Downward trending as well. So you got to put in the back of the mind, I think if we lose 95 in Nvidia, going to be looking at least AMD in particular. I don't know if I want to short Nvidia itself, but that's going to be in play. Yeah, a lot to watch. In the afternoon yesterday, it feels like forever ago, we had, there was positive news for Coinbase. There was positive news for XYZ. Block also had news. Walmart reported this morning. PanW.
Yeah, they're down 3% or 4%?
Yeah, but remember last time, PanW, it was down on earnings, and then it was down the next day, and it was down the next day. And then it was even down the day after that. Like, you really had to wait a week on PanW, so that's where my head is at with them. Unless they were up, I knew I'm not going to be on the bid until probably like mid next week of that stock. They did this before. It wasn't like it was all that bad of a report, but tepid was the word that Adair used. So exciting times today because Nvidia puts a smile on most people's faces.
Yeah, Tesla up another 2.5% as well. I mean, there goes Tesla right now. So we were absolutely crushing this name the last couple of days at 400. I don't think we'll get another opportunity to get 400 dip buys, but if we do get, between 406, sticky note's already out. You guys can go find it right now. I just put it out. We were in here earlier today already. So we have Tesla right there, 406 and 408. Google's going to be my number one trade. We'll look. We'll look at Nvidia today, but at the end of the day, we want to stick with stocks that we've been really doing quite well on. It's nice to rebound there as well for Bitcoin today, 92,000. So that's going to be a good little look there as we go. But yeah, just a nice overall move. 195, as Neil just mentioned there for Nvidia. That's going to be a good story to tell at some point here. A lot of volume in the pre-market, obviously 8 million shares, and not doing a whole heck of a lot right now. So we'll just wait to see. It's underneath any expected move. I think Neil and I were both thinking that whoever bet green yesterday was 60-40. You guys win. I thought we could take out 200 today, and I still do think that. So let's wait maybe for a 200 break on Nvidia, and or if it does dip, then it's a 191, 192 area for me. But today, man, we be going long, and we're not doing anything else. SoFi is going to be another name that's on my watch list as well today, down to 27. If that winds up coming through, that's up now another 4% here today off of a nice run into the afternoon. Hey, did you buy dips? I didn't really buy too much of this down here, so nothing of SoFi. I didn't really do any buying the last couple of days. Wanted to wait to see what this event was. So there it is. We do have a super chat, so if you want to get that up there, Day Trader LA is back in the building one more time. We were wondering where you were at yesterday, but I guess Andre is busy over there. But we'll get that super chat through on the screen in just a couple minutes. So thank you for that. It's 92,000 now on Bitcoin. All right, let's go back over to the desk and see what Adair and Brendan are up to.
Yeah, positivity right across the board. Just looking at a couple other tech names there. We'll touch on Meta here in a second, but wanted to mention Ray Dalio this morning on CNBC saying the AI bubble at quote unquote 80% currently, according to Ray Dalio. I saw a lot of people after that Nvidia report last night suggesting that the AI bubble was canceled and everything is fine and as you were essentially for tech, but not the case according to Mr. Dalio.
Well, I had kind of mentioned, because I did some of the research on this before the report, and Brendan, there was a lot of, I guess, we were still growing, obviously, year over year for NVIDIA revenue heading into this report, but over the last 4 quarters, that growth had gotten smaller.
Right.
I think we are seeing a return to growth of growth, if you will, with this quarter. So, yeah. I mean, that could be a bit of an argument to suggest we're going to continue seeing more growth, to use that word again. But I think the data center AI revenue beat really shows that there is still some interest in this crucial AI space, specifically Blackwell too.
And I mean, it was more on the sustainability of said growth and the rate at which they continue to just blow things out of the water, just insane. We'll dig in deeper, obviously, coming up here. Here's Meta just popping up on a screen in front of me here, taking out day highs. Just got back above 600, even 602. Meta, one that we've been touching on, kind of taking a back seat over the past couple of weeks here and is down significantly, 20+% on the year, taking out obviously what's happened after the close yesterday and this morning. They lost one of their key AI people who is off to start their own AI startup. But I think a lot of analysts this morning pointing at that event specifically and saying maybe not as all well on the AI front for Meta.
Well, and I think it's interesting too. I do want to remind you guys, Jan LeCun, who is the individual who left, we were actually hearing reports of him leaving as of like earlier this month. So this isn't completely out of the blue, out of nowhere, but I do think it shows, as you said, some tension in the AI camp, because a lot of things that I was seeing when this was first reported, they were pointing to the fact that maybe this man doesn't want to, directly report to Alexander Wang, who is much younger than him, like less experienced in that way, right? This is a man who is called their chief AI scientist. So that's, I think, certainly an interesting point to make. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how the new AI emphasis in this company ends up faring, because Zuck's taken some bold risk, and we have yet to see if they pay off.
Like $100 million signing bonuses
Very
for
bold
some
risk.
of these. Yeah, very, very bold risk. 26% right now off the highs here, guys, for Meta. But as we said, looking pretty good here so far today.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it this way. If you're not looking good so far today, then you better be part of some kind of a rotation, right? Like, I wouldn't be concerned necessarily about like a healthcare name that might have pulled back today. That wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if you aren't up right now and you're in tech, then that's a problem. Meta, it's only up 2 points, which is, it's only moving as much as the NASDAQ goes to that point. It's still seen as the not as strong Mag 7 name with the AI play. So as far as I'm concerned, unless it's outpacing the market for Meta, that's a bit of a fail. This is not on the list for myself for a long today. I think if we're going to hold, if NVIDIA holds at 95 and we get to 200, you got to be thinking names like CoreWeave. You got to be thinking names like AMD. You got to be thinking names like Google, and not necessarily Meta. Oh, we just had the super chat up. If we can quickly,
I put it back.
If you could throw that back up there.
Yeah,
Get the update from Day Trader LA. Good morning to you two. Took a Google loss on Wednesday. Got back in at 290 with 77 contracts, and boom, shakalaka. Clearly, you are also a fan of maybe one of the best. I don't want to say the best, but one of the best arcade games of all time, NBA Jam.
Day Trader LA apparently is heating up.
He's heating up.
Right there, he's shooting from the three-point line. But all right, so we do have Luis Barbado here coming through. So small cap extraordinaire over here. So let's go find out. I mean, we'll be talking a lot about big cap names. That is for sure here today. But let's go over to Luis. Oh, we just got another super chat. Just real quickly, I'll show this before we go. Thank you so much, Eddie, for the $50 right here. Not in LA anymore. Is that Arizona ATX?
Yeah.
So new name. Oh, okay.
Okay, Flo, you're Eddie.
Okay, so now he's Eddie.
Yeah.
So ATX, is that Arizona? I'm not, maybe? Austin, Texas, ATX. There we go.
Yeah,
okay. Austin, Texas. So from, one Tesla hotspot to the next. There it is right there, Austin, Texas. So thank you so much, Eddie. I feel like we've seen Eddie before, and I didn't really put two and two together there.
I wonder how many other people
change
do
the
that.
name now. So we have to go Day Trader Austin. I think he needs to put his name in there.
Yeah.
Or Day Trader Texas. So thank you so much for that. 150 smooth from you. So we really appreciate all of that. So all right, now let's go over and talk to Luis. And congratulations on the Google, Eddie.
Yeah, I think a good opportunity, guys, to highlight the simple fact on a day when the focus is elsewhere, away from small caps, all things tech and all things NVIDIA and AI specifically. Good day to have that discussion on what do we do with small caps specifically. It's worth noting this HOTH on the way back down now, one that was moving around here early on this morning. They do have a NVIDIA, conveniently, headline. So let's bring in Luis and get his opinion on some of these. But Luis, good to see you. We haven't connected in a couple of weeks due to some technical issues, but good to have you back as always. I think it's like I was saying, one of those mornings where when the focus is so much on tech, so much on NVIDIA, on earnings specifically, a lot of these small cap high flyers taking a bit of a back seat. Just from a general perspective here, on a day like this, if you're the type of trader who typically looks at small cap stocks, what do you do this morning, Luis?
Oh, usually it doesn't have so much correlation. So we have a lot of days with huge volume in big caps and also in small caps. But it is true that today we have to narrow down a lot the watch list because there's no much going on today on small caps.
So if we jump into a few here, I mean, this HOTH lower priced on the market cap scale, really, really teeny tiny. We're already back to 120 here. Typically not something that you would be interested in, correct?
No, not enough volume, not enough range moving. So it's not one of the ticker we're looking at today. Yeah.
There's a few others, though, that did pop up on my list. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here. I mean, there's INM this morning on its own headline. There's FGL, Founder Group Limited. What's top of your list so far today?
For our top list, and it's very narrow today, but take into account we have a lot of days to trade, a lot of, I mean, in the year you have a lot of days, and during the day you have a lot of options. So if today is a quiet day, don't worry, take it easy, relax, and wait for the trade. If you do one trade, if you do any trade at all in the day, that's fine. I mean, we don't have to work all the time, all the day. So don't force trade, don't overtrade, guys. In a calm day, just take it easy. But even though with that, we narrowed down the names to a couple of tickers today. First one is not on the radar. It's like this, but we have been trading for the last days, SGDX. This is very interesting because it's a multi-day play. That means it's been like 4, 5, 6 days in a run going up and up. Yesterday, we saw a nice squeeze on the short side here. Because it looked like quite backside for some time yesterday, and then suddenly went to the high of the day, and of course broke, and all the shorts got squeezed in the last hours of the market. And look at this after market, it went to 780. So taking this into account today, we're looking for shorts against this 7 resistance 650. Okay, it's our play today on the short side, but listen, this is a 5 million float stock. It's not running only one day, it's running 4, 5, 6 days in a run. So it's not very normal for a small cap of 5 million float that it keeps running for a few days. So the play is there, short against 650, 70, but what if it breaks there? There is no exit, guys. Shorts are gonna get a squeeze again, and it might go to $8, $9, $10 because of low float, because of there is something going on in this stock that is going up so many days in a run. Even though the float, even though that the news are not that big, you know, it has only 4, 5 months of cash to survive. So no big news on its side, but it keeps going up. So be careful with the short.
When you look at something along those lines where it's showing all kinds of strength for no apparent reason whatsoever, obviously the path of least resistance is going to be higher on a 5 million share float. What do you want to see specifically to say, okay, we're done, it's finally coming back in?
Well, there are some levels that you watch when you're day trading in small caps. One, of course, is the VWAP, which is our mainly and most of the times only indicator. VWAP, if we lose VWAP, it's one of the reasons that we would go short with more confidence. We also look overhead resistance. Are we trading against some resistance, daily resistance like this $657? We trading against this resistance, and if the VWAP is lost and we see some volume, decreasing volume, that will be our trigger to go short.
All right, let's go back to AI land a little bit here, Luis. With everyone, you know, so focused on Nvidia, so focused on anything surrounding this AI world today, is there one or two names that are catching your eyes as far as maybe not necessarily Nvidia, or maybe it is, but is there one or two names in that space that you're looking at today?
Not really, but the only name that we're looking is this AUID, which is a small cap, 11 million shares float, and it has a new related to Nvidia. So for us, usually it's a very red flag to short. If you see in the news that Nvidia joins Nvidia agreement or something like that, it's a totally red flag to go short. So let's see how it behaves. If it holds, if it goes volume in, we will go try to look for a long on this one, only because of the Nvidia join or venture or whatever.
Yeah, one of the things we've seen on earnings days for the past couple here for NVIDIA is they typically announce a whole bunch of deals, that HOTH, another one, along with AUID, but as we said, on the way back in a little bit here. Luis, great to connect. Once again, best of luck today. Thanks for this.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I forgot one ticker that we cannot short because it's hard to borrow, very expensive locates. But if someone has locates there and are cheap, MNDR, this stock, it has gone up like crazy during the pre-market fail, and it's very nice to go short if we see some pops to VWAP or something like that.
MNDR?
MNDR, yes, right.
MNDR. Great stuff. Thanks, Luis. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. See you.
Thank you, Luis. I think, Luis, what you were going to say there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Luis, first of all. But I think it's very important that if you look at that MNDR, the stock's on
Habitual line stepper.
Yeah, you have basically, I think he just gave us a little bit of a tip right there, and that is make sure you can always short the stock. You know, you want to go in there and make sure you can pay for shorts, right? Here at Real Trading, we have the opportunity to go in there and do that, and that's what he was mentioning. It's potentially too expensive to borrow right now. So I think that when you're looking, you got to let your broker know. And Sharif showed us a couple times on IBKR how it works, or whatever. And you got to make sure that the price that you pay to short, a runner like that is affordable and something that you're actually going to trade before you shell out the $100 or the $50 or whatever it is to gain the shorts. Make sure that you do have a strategy for that particular name, because we used to have a trader on the show, Rune, that used to, well, first of all, pretty much just traded futures, but he was always like, he doesn't want to pay for shorts, for stock where he most likely won't trade it. So I think that that's something that,
if it's close to free, maybe. This one.
Yeah. All right, but look, if it's going to be $5, that's why I was using more.
Luis's point was this one's 11 cents per share.
Right.
And it's a $2.50 stock. So you have to think about that. If you trade it one time, let's say.
Eddie Sarkazian.
Oh, Eddie's back. Let's just say you shorted at 260 and your out's at 280.
Right.
If you make one trade, it's almost like your out's at 291 because you're risking an extra 11 cents just to have the ability to do it. Now, had it been 1 cent per share or half a cent per share, you just pay it whether you're going to trade it or not. I mean, you'll pay it because it's in place. So that's a very good point. 11 cents a share, I probably wouldn't trade that either. But Eddie is back. Another super chat. I know you're in a good mood here, Eddie. Let's throw it up there. You guys got a delivery coming in a few minutes. Use PIN.
You just gave away the PIN, man. Now everyone's going to be like, yo, I'm just going to go steal that delivery now, Neil. What are you even
All
doing?
I did is hit the button.
Oh, man, I'm excited for that. Okay, where's Randy?
I have an idea what that might be.
Let us know if he messages you, because our entry is not like where the studio is.
Yeah.
So we'll have to send Obi or somebody over there to go get whatever it is. So thanks, Day Trader LA. Let us know.
Eddie in the house.
What's going on with that. But look at Google right now. I mean, talk about Mr. Eddie Sarkazian here. Look at this, man. Up 4% and taking out highs. 305. What goes bump in the night? It's Google that goes bump in the night, and it's a huge move right now. 305 and change. Google's still going. No news. I mean, there is some specific news. We'll talk about all the stories, but you get the 4.4% unemployment versus 4.3. So it's nice to see the September number finally out. I don't think it's as bad as everyone maybe thought it was going to be, but that helps the market go back up to the upside right there, as it's looking more and more like potential Fed rate cut. Look, I wanted to have this up for you. So 30%. I haven't refreshed this since the job number. So let's just refresh that live together right now and see if there is service unavailable. This is relatively unsuccessful and anticlimactic right now. The Fed rate watch tool not working. But I was going to say that it was. Oh, here it is. Is it working now? Maybe working now. It's figuring it out. Once it loads, I'll bring it to you. It's still not loading. Let's go, Buffalo. Yeah, tonight they have a very easy game against
Don't
Houston.
say that, man.
I believe.
It was a very easy game. It was a very easy game versus Miami.
Anything could happen, yeah. I guess that's true.
I just don't want Josh Allen to have to go Superman mode against when he does that against a good team.
He only got 6 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. Like against a good team, fair enough. Right, like you got to go hero mode, but there should be some easier wins. Like let Cook run 25 times tonight. That's what I want to see. Have the defense do something. Like you need that. Like you can't. I'll give it to a trading analogy. You shouldn't need to be perfect every single day to be a profitable trader. That's a hard way to go about business, man. Like if the only way you're going to do well is by being perfect. And you have to win 90% of your trades to be green. That's tough. The Bills shouldn't need Josh Allen to be Superman. If you're a Super Bowl team, then you need the guy when you need the guy. But other days, the rest of the team should be able to hold up.
Yeah, it loaded.
But there's a lot to finally load it up.
Okay, so it just bumped up a little bit. It was from 30 to 35% there. So I think I think this number will change throughout the day as this update. So again, we did get, remember it was 98% a month ago that we were going to get the cut. Now it's 2/3, 1/3 the other way around. So I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. We'll just keep on like sort of refreshing this. You know, the better this goes, the higher this goes, you know, the more the market will rally. So watch out for that. And that was part of the reason why the market tanked yesterday, was we got a re-weighting in that number, and it looked more and more like the Fed was going to cut. Was not going to cut, and that's part of that. So, go Nvidia. Any fan meetups planned? I don't know. I'm a big fan of like Fabian and all that, so I want to go meet up and see if we can go grab a drink.
I'm more
there.
team
But,
for me.
yeah, we don't have any plans right now for anything like that. So we should probably heading into the Christmas season. So that might be a fun thing to do. But we'll keep that on the back burner. Thanks for that idea. And yeah, I think we should plan something social. That would be kind of fun. Ramin right now is waiting for the DoorDash. So let us know there, Eddie, and if you get an update on that, because she is standing at the door right now waiting for it. So,
hopefully it's proper.
Apple, I'm just hearing in my ear right now, Apple increasing their chip order right now through TSM. So you don't increase your order if you've got demand problems.
I'd hope
so right now we'll see what Apple moves on anything there, but that's just hitting the newswire right now. Apple increasing their chip order with TSMC. So we'll see if there's anything. Doesn't look like there's any movement on that. So anyways, all right, let's go back over the desk. It's 8:56. Thanks, Luis, for that quick little update there on some small cap names. We do have our watch list, of course, available. You can scan the QR code, not that one, you can do that one too, but the link is in description for the watch list. And also if you're a member, Sharif's not here today, so it's watch list day today. All right, the driver is 10 minutes away, so we might as well tell that to Ramin. All right, back over to the desk.
Yeah, we'll just leave her there. She's fine. Let's talk about, we'll do a quick recap here on the back of that CME Fed Funds Tool data. If you missed it or just joining right now, we got September non-farm payrolls here this morning, 119,000, huge number to the upside versus just 50,000 additions that were expected. 4.4, however, on the unemployment rate versus 4.3% that was expected there, 4.3% the prior number as well. Participation rate down here. A lot of people pointing to this number specifically. I was reading yesterday saying, are they actually just leaving the employment market altogether, or employment market altogether, or are we seeing actual churn within that? So 62.4 on the participation rate versus 62.3, which was expected there. Private payrolls down here, 97,000 versus 40, more than double to the upside. So yeah, all kinds of strength in the employment market, as we were saying. So that Fed Funds Tool looking one-sided at this point.
Yeah, and as someone who pays attention to Fed speech, arguably too much, as I kind of mentioned earlier, that's one thing that I said might be an issue here. These numbers being as strong as they are, if you're looking for a rate cut, at least with that September data, and especially knowing we're probably never going to get that October data, it could be a little bit harder to justify a cut. And again, that doesn't negate the fact that October employment was likely weak, but in terms of the Feds having to see the data in front of them, whether you agree or disagree with that as a principle, that's essentially what they do.
Yeah.
Right? So that I think you have to keep in mind here.
Yeah, and we are going to get, as you mentioned, there a lot more Fed speak, not only today, but over the next couple of days. Just to recap here. Hammock coming up, 8:45, Cook.
Yeah, Hammock, I was just going to say Hammock has been super hawkish as of late, so that's going to be one to watch for sure.
We'll watch out for those comments. Cook then at 11 a.m. this morning, then Goolsby later on in the day. There is some Fed's balance data coming out later on in the day as well. So from a macro perspective, over the next couple of not only days, but weeks, we'll start getting a better picture, I think, and more clarity at least on where things stand. So let's jump right into what we need to know as far as the overall market is concerned here this morning. A ton of individual names, not only NVIDIA, but tied to the NVIDIA move that need to be discussed. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump down to the description. Top link in the description will get you to the sign-up page for the watch list. Absolutely free. Comes right to your inbox every single day. All you need is your email address. We'll talk about Palantir coming up here as well. Interesting news for Palantir. Nice move after the close yesterday. But here's NVIDIA, as we said, just kind of chopping around here so far this morning. And Sean was mentioning all kinds of volume in the pre-market. Very lackluster on the price action, however, after that move yesterday.
Yeah, so there's a lot to talk about with this report, truthfully. And again, we'll probably likely talk about this throughout the day because there's just so much to talk about. But like top and bottom line, they definitely exceeded estimates here, guys. Adjusted EPS, $1.30, beating estimates of $1.25. Sales, $57.006 billion, well above estimates of $54.88 billion. Their guidance was also a blowout, guiding Q4 sales between $63.7 and $66.3 billion, well above estimates of $61.479 billion. Now, data center revenue, we know AI is going to be on watch, right? Data center revenue up 25% quarter over quarter, 66% year over year, to a whopping $51.2 billion. So the vast majority of their $57 billion revenue this quarter. Blackwell demand was mentioned. We did have Huang repeating, or CEO Jensen Huang of Nvidia repeating that their H20 revenue is likely going to be insignificant because they haven't really been able to sell to China. But honestly, I think because he prepared us so much for that, that wasn't really going to let the market down with such a strong report.
And as you said, we kind of knew that going in, that China wasn't going to be relevant as far as the report. But still, guys, the forecast, as Adair was saying, I think not only impressing, but just absolutely obliterating everyone's expectation once again.
Yeah, well, the key thing is, and Adair had a great infographic last night that we were showing on the show, which was there was, revenue not declining, but revenue growth had been declining for them. And what you were trying to see was a flattening of that curve, which with this guidance absolutely does that. So the rate at which they were growing revenue has started to tick back up, which is fantastic. That's basically the only way to consider, you knew they're going to beat, and they've impressed with the numbers. But I think that kernel in there, and then I think people were surprised, or at least pleasantly surprised with the margins. The only knock that you can make here is that it didn't exceed the expected move. Now, I thought that 7% seemed high to me, but either way, we're not through it, and I think you need to bust that. I mean, it works out to, I think it's more 199 than 200 from doing the napkin math. It's close enough. I think it's above 199, between 199 and 200 to get to that mark. But there was also something that we saw in the aftermarket. I guess I got to go to a 3-minute to show you. At 195 in the aftermarket on the initial push up, that was where, obvious in the tape, you could see brick walls at every even dollar. It was distinctly different at $195. And that also sets up as the pre-market low. Right now, NVIDIA is under VWAP. So if it's not holding VWAP, which is always that's like the litmus for me. If it's holding VWAP in the open range, then you work longs into that high or the resistance. But if it's not there, it's really tight to the first dip at 95. So I think you kind of put up or shut up right away. And I looked immediately, okay, well, where's AMD here? AMD's already broken the pre-market low. You're already under the pre-market low. You're not even breaking out yesterday's highs on AMD. So if 195 goes on Nvidia to the downside and we aren't getting the longs that we want, well, I know which thing I want to go over to. Sometimes it's SMCI, maybe you're like an Intel, but today, off of that high and VWAP, if we don't hold 95 on Nvidia, and AMD to me, which is just a sympathy play in general, is going to be a short.
Yeah, that's a good look there, because AMD, we've been hitting that short for a while. We had that monster trade a couple days ago on AMD, which was one of the better ones that I've had. And we also had a monster long on it too, but that was at 250. Now you're way under. Look, NVIDIA is the king here. It's the dog that wags the tail. It's 8% of the NASDAQ. It's 6 or 7% of the S&P 500. It's just a monster name, right? I mean, it's $4.5, almost $5 trillion once again here, and up 5%. It takes a lot to move this stock, but it's still underneath what its expected move was. We're still underneath a key level of 200. We're only up slightly above sort of where we were last week right now after that epic dip down. So yeah, I do agree, man. 195 going to be coming into an area of support potentially, and we'll have to see. That's the pre-market low. I don't want to look at it there though. I think if we are going to get some profit taking, this 193 is where the 200 period sits here on the 1-minute chart. So that's sort of the area for me that I'm looking at, 193. So I'm looking right there to dip by, but definitely going to let this one settle down. I could see it coming out a little bit here off the open. So, a 200 break, if we start to see this as going meme crazy, meaning all these offers just keep getting lifted, kind of like what's happening now sort of, then, we can hit that 200 long with momentum. But for right now on Nvidia, I just think it's, it's lifting a lot of ships up here that potentially, don't need to be. Obviously, if the demand continues to be strong, then you're going to need the silicon. You're going to need all of this to be built. You're going to need racks. You're going to need, Dell should have a decent day today on that demand, right? So should SMCI. You're seeing some of these names all up today on sympathy with Nvidia, right? And so there it is. Look at SMCI, up 7%, right? If they're going to see 500 billion worth of demand for Nvidia chips moving forward, well, then there's pieces and parts to this game as well, right? That's why you look at a name like a GE Vernova that continues to move higher as we look for power, we look for data centers, and many different things. I see Ramina's in the back. I said it was going to be Krispy Kreme donuts, and that seems to be what everybody gives.
Eddie, I'm not sure you got enough.
We always say this, man.
This really is a lot. Well, let's see what they are first.
Well, they probably.
Oh, they have a little tape together.
There's some tape.
Well, no, I mean
donuts. Yeah, good.
Probably donuts.
Good one,
Ramin, very seriously.
Why doesn't Ramin just open them? Because we need. You're going to be ripping these boxes, Neil. We need
what?
Scissors. Okay, so yeah, they're those ones. Oh man, thank you so much, Eddie.
Eddie, I'll tell you right now. Last time I took one of these home to my daughter, she was dying over how good this was.
That's the Oreo one.
Yeah, today I'm gonna do this.
That was the one I was looking at.
I'm not eating. No. I'm taking this one home for my daughter because every time we get treats like this, I have to share with her. Otherwise, whatever. It's a dad thing. I'm not even sure what I want.
Oh man. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Here, take.
Yeah, it's probably
the same thing.
Yeah, these ones are probably similar. Ooh. Yeah, we got donuts, Randy, but I need a coffee now, Randy. So, all right, here we go. Let's just. There we go. The problem with these ones are, of course, is that there's no apple fritters, right?
I think we'll make do.
Here, Randy, you know what?
We'll make do.
Get going on that because, honestly. All right. Amazon with new news as well. Yeah, Fabian, they're for everybody. So here we go.
Yeah, if you can just throw that in.
There we go. Yeah, let us know. Thank you so much. We can keep them here for a minute while we show everybody that. But thank you so much, Eddie. Very, very kind. And if we can find even whatever, the super chat's on there. Yeah, I can't post it again because we've lost it. But thank you so much, Eddie, for all your kind super chats today, and it means a lot to us all. So, congratulations on the Google, and thank you for, fattening us up even more there. But
hey, man, why?
All right. Yeah, look, we are
is fattening up everyone's accounts.
That's
might
big.
As well.
I mean, what a day to celebrate today. Exactly. I mean, unless you're short, of course. I haven't seen Sharif's best friend, Big Kyle Burdett, in a while, and I know that he's always short. So
where's Michael Burry at?
Let us. Yeah, well, apparently he was out of all of this. Well, you know what? Even a 5% move. I mean, it's not like a huge move on it.
He deregistered his. So it just means that they're classified differently. The fund. So he could still be shorting all this stuff, and maybe he shorted the top, in which case he's still in the money. I have no idea, and I don't want to harp on the guy. It doesn't even really matter.
Yeah, it's all good.
But, let's talk about.
Randy is loving the donuts. All I'm hearing back there is
I gotta have one for myself though. I don't know. That's what I said.
That's the one Neil has.
I'm taking that for Aaron.
One of those two.
Like peanut. Well, one is Oreo.
That's Oreo.
All right, let me know if you need Ozempic. Yeah, exactly. Send it over, Eddie. Right now. Yeah, interesting day ahead. And again, thank you so much for everything there. Let me check out what Eli Lilly's doing. Maybe it just got bumped up on this news here. Eli Lilly actually over $1,000 and just looking honestly like a stock that is unstoppable right now. I mean, opposite of Novo Nordisk, actually. This has been a huge move for Eli Lilly. Like, I'm thinking about, honestly, trimming. See what I did there? Trimming on this Ozempic name right now. Eli Lilly. I don't know. All right, thanks very much for everybody and all the fun here today. Let's go back over to the desk and talk about number 2 there. Walmart. Oh, yeah, that's another story there. That's right. They're moving over to the NASDAQ.
Got to do it.
Like, yeah, because, of course, they're a tech name. Now they got this deal with Eli Lilly. I mean,
they're AI
OpenAI.
Right? Yeah.
Their, NASDAQ name. I guess they want to get into the NASDAQ 100. They're following the Palantir and some of these different moves.
That's exactly what it is.
That they're doing there. So, all right, back over.
Yeah, a little unexpected at the end of the earnings report to hear that. December 9th, guys, will be the day that WMT will make its debut on the NASDAQ. As they said, tech stock now apparently for Walmart. It's worth noting the earnings call was at 8 a.m. seems to be mostly wrapped up. So we did get that move all the way back and then some after the initial sell-off on the numbers themselves. But nice look now for Walmart.
And we also got to hear from incoming CEO John Furner. We know that current and now, I guess, outgoing CEO Doug McMillon was viewed as very positively for the company, but he's also an internal hire here, John Furner, so he understands how things work. Should be an interesting transition when he starts on February 1st, 2026. Let's get into the numbers. Adjusted EPS of 62 cents per share, narrowly beating estimates of 60 cents. Sales, $179.5 billion. Nicely beating estimates here of $177.429 billion. They actually raised their fiscal 26 revenue outlook from 3.75 to 4.75%. Now they're expecting 4.8 to 5.1% revenue growth for fiscal 26. I also want to mention here their comparable sales. This is a metric that's always going to matter for these types of names in the retail space. And comp sales were pretty good here, guys. Comparable sales here for the U.S., excluding fuel, up 4.5%. Sam's Club comparable sales, excluding fuel, up 3.8%.
I was just checking. December 9th is oddly a Tuesday.
That's weird.
I don't know. It'll be a Tuesday, guys. We'll trade Walmart on the NASDAQ for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters all that much.
Is it
right?
weird? I don't know. Why does that really matter? I don't know. I don't understand the day significance
think
there,
in
but
that
I wonder
case, it
why
really
it's the
doesn't make a
9th.
difference.
Maybe you got to give 3 weeks notice or something like
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
You know, I'm wondering why that is there. But yeah, another good report for Walmart.
Yeah, it's a good report for Walmart. I think, you know, they're more than just the retail name that they've been. Certainly they've been getting efficiencies through AI for sure. The only thing that might be, for right now, if we're just kind of looking at it, okay, there's a lot of euphoria right now, right? Like everything, your quote board, your personal account, like all of your, like everything that everybody owns is pretty much up right now, unless you've been, like we're saying, like shorting. So it's easy to be really euphoric, but you did just move right into essentially like a prior resistance level. So like, yeah, we're already starting to pull back a little bit here. When I wrote down, it's wild because, you know, Walmart moving in the morning, I always find a little bit annoying because when you come in, it's like, oh, you look at some levels, and I was saying to myself, okay, the 101 level was what I was going to key in on, and that made the most sense, and then you're already hitting like 104 by the time we're at 912, which it is right now. So it's a pretty deep pullback to get to this area where you had the drop off yesterday at the open. It's like 101 and change. The patience in me would suggest I'd let it settle first before even considering doing anything but waiting for the 101. Like I wouldn't want to blindly be sitting in front of this prior high with Walmart. So yes, I'm happy with it. You're only sad if for those that didn't get a dip buy. I didn't get a dip buy here. I was going to wait till after the report. So if you're waiting for the 200 period moving average, you had to sit there this morning to get picked up. I'll still wait a couple of days, but this is something that I'm going to be adding to. I already said I'm adding to it after the report. Whether that ends up being tomorrow or next week, probably next week. I usually wait a couple of sessions, but I'll wait till 101 at the open here, just to make sure that we don't give up too much of the move. Buying the dips in this market has required a little extra patience, I found.
Yeah, so agreed on all of those fronts about Walmart. Like another great stock, and we were actually talking about it today, and I said like this $100 mark right here has really held since all the way from the summertime once we broke through there. I'm going to sneeze. Back in August. There's the split, by the way. They went from 183 to 1 down to 60 there. So they've already been up to 180 before, but again, remember split, so it has nothing to do with the valuation. But right into here, $100 has held it has held all fall. You know, there's going to be some wicks down, which doesn't really bother me. As long as you don't close underneath this 200 period, then you're safe and you're good to go. If anything, you know, we should be bidding down here to make sure you capture some of that. This move down was actually real today when the algos spiked and hit that. But yeah, I really like this level. So I'm a buyer of Walmart, man. I'm going to give it, like that's December the 9th. Let's give it a little bit of runway here because it's getting bumped up because of earnings, which they didn't like, by the way, when it was when it came out. You know, then they got the news about the NASDAQ, and then it starts to go back up to the upside right there. I still think that its proper home is somewhere around here, $100 to $101. So let's see if Walmart fades back out, which I think it does when people realize that it moving to the NASDAQ has nothing to do with anything. So I'm going to be buying Walmart down 4 or 5% from here. That's going to be a play for me. So once Walmart comes in, people always ask me what my shopping list looks like. That's what it looks like. my wife spends thousands of dollars probably there, honestly, a month. Like we have a Walmart right near our house. We'll go there, do some grocery shopping and things like that. Like yesterday, she was at Loblaws, which is like a major grocer around here. But yeah, Walmart just continues to work, and I think that heading into the Christmas season, it'll be a winner. So Walmart, I don't think they give a dividend. If they do, it's pretty small. But at the end of the day, I like Walmart here. I like it for the long side, and I'm a buyer on dips, and I think that dip comes to $100. I think you might be able to get that today, to be honest with you. So let's give it a second to breathe. But great news on Walmart, great report, great news moving to the NASDAQ. But a much better stock, in my opinion, is Palantir. Let's go over and have a look.
Also looking very, very strong so far this morning, although coming back into 171. Adair and I were just touching on the simple fact that this thing now trading very much with the overall NASDAQ as that move dictated after the close yesterday on Nvidia. But yet another government deal today for Palantir.
Yes, and we are going to try to word this because it's big fancy Palantir words. They achieved Australian Informational Security Registered Assessors Program Protected Level, or IRAP, to expand their secure artificial intelligence software. Now, IRAP is what I guess this group itself calls this level of clearance. Just to be clear, you can read a little bit more on this in our watch list because the story is there. But basically what this does is it allows Australian government agencies and commercial organizations to use Palantir's Foundry and AIP platforms while also meeting stringent national security and privacy requirements. So again, Palantir continuing in that national security space seems to do quite well with these government contract-related pieces of news.
Going back 2 days ago, we were touching on 170, 171, maybe 172 as a very, very significant line in the sand there. We did get below it for 2 days. Here we are, guys, trying to bounce back and gap right back above support.
It is. But before we even get into that higher time frame, new rule for myself. If Palantir trends under VWAP and breaks that trend in the afternoon, it's always a long. Just take the shot. Like if it's under VWAP and you have a clear and defined trend on that trend break, go long. It was long to VWAP twice, and then it dipped and even held support there again into the close. Obviously, it goes in the aftermarket because Nvidia did, so forget that last part of the move. But the other side of that coin is, unlike a few other things that we'll probably show today, I guess we're not talking about Google, but there's a lot of names that are at highs or adjacent to highs or above the 50 period. Palantir for now isn't one of them. So it does have this sort of rounded bottom which is forming. The only reason it didn't make my list today was I really feel like this is where it needs to break out. It's a little far away from like 176.5 to 177. Double bottom in here. Could make some arguments for the 174 level and then that to scalp to 177. I think that would be the aggressive play in there, but I think it's more explosive if it gets through 177. So, I'm kind of more interested in Google today. Just looks a little stronger, and I'm still going to be looking at some IBIT. Believe it or not, that's actually weak. We're probably not going to get to that, but IBIT still looks relatively weak, so I feel like those are a couple names I'm watching. I'm watching some Open Door as well. Palantir, I just think that 177 if we get there. Maybe that's a next week kind of play. If it does break today, I'd be a little bit surprised, but it's a big level if it can do it.
Oh, yeah, yesterday we had over $1 winner on IBIT on the short side. We really like that trade here today. But there's Google, $300 long. There's Tesla, but there's Palantir. So 168 to 169 buy zone, obviously, as we just mentioned, Foundry getting approved for Australia. So that means more government contracts ahead, more deals with different Australian companies and whatnot. I mean, that's great, right? This is a U.S. story, but not anymore, as Palantir expanding. And, they already have deals with Israeli government as well as United States. And there's definitely more countries that I'm missing, but I was just thinking UK as well. So, it's good to have that. And there it goes to the upside. You want to be in growth names right now, I think, which is why I was making that comment about Palantir versus Walmart. Palantir, a really, really strong growth name, and we have some opportunity to get back into $200. But I am a little nervous. Again, I think a lot of these names are being propped up a little bit here today, obviously with such good feels. Those good feels can stop right away. We have home sales at 10 o'clock. That's going to be interesting. But 168 is where I wrote down right here. It's going to be your 200 period moving average. And you can see, although we busted through it right here, we held it there, broke through after hours. So let's come back and see if we can test between like 168 and, thank you, Randy, between 168 and 169. So that's sort of what we wrote down here for Palantir. It's not not like a huge level or anything, but we've seen this move be pretty dramatic, especially off, this is at 8 o'clock, but this is off the open yesterday. We dropped from 169 down to 166, so $3 before making it all the way back up, and just had a little bit of a 10-minute hiccup there, and then it went lower as the market did. So I would say Palantir, does it have the pedigree to go down $4 or $5? Yes, it does. It did it yesterday, and if it does, then we're buying that one. And yes, we are going to be trading Tesla today. Tesla, also, what's up? Whoever said that there in the chat. Monica, what's up, Monica? This is where we have Tesla written down. Is it on the board? Oh, it's on the board. Yeah. So we'll go to that in a minute. 406 to 408. Let's go find out the story on Tesla. And yeah, my eyes are on it.
There once was EV credits. There once was not EV credits. There might be more EV credits coming through for Tesla specifically. Yeah, we're almost back to session highs here so far this morning, looking pretty good for Tesla. But yeah, President Trump quick to remind Elon how lucky he is that he is with him.
Yeah, Elon Musk actually also appeared on a panel with Jensen Huang, a man we spoke about earlier yesterday. The U.S. Saudi Investment Forum was quite entertaining for sure. But yeah, during his speech, which covered a wide range of topics, Trump did say that he didn't think that middle-income people were aware that there are these deductions within the One Big Beautiful Bill, which actually allow them to get, I guess, a deduction in the interest if they buy, quote, a nice Tesla car or any other vehicle. So this isn't just specifically for Tesla, nor does it seem to be brand new, but he basically just mentioned that these deductions do exist, which, of course, knowing about these is a good look if you want to buy a Tesla or a vehicle that's a bit more expensive. Basically, this allows taxpayers to deduct up to $10,000 annually in interest on their vehicle loan up until 2028.
That's a lot of interest.
Yeah, well, that's also, I mean, provided the vehicle had its final assembly in the U.S. That's another thing to clarify, but that's still a lot of interest.
Possible, though. Worth noting as well, I mean, we had one of the highest volume days probably yesterday in quite some time for Tesla, just above 400 as well. So maybe some people stepping back in here a little bit, guys, for Tesla.
Yeah, you might get the 420 break today. It's close. Certainly, it's we're not there yet, but it's pretty close to that 420 level. I look at prior highs when they line up. I like it a little bit better. It's more of a range on Tesla. There we go. My mouse is a little sensitive today. Sensitivo. So if I look at, whoops, I want the vertical. I want the horizontal line. So it's this channel. That's key. It's about a $2 range, like 408 to 410. I feel like if you go in there and come out green, then yeah, I like the long in the 420. If you go in there and come out red, wait till $400 is a bit of a bigger play. But at the open, I'll be looking at chips, specifically AMD NVIDIA as a pair, IBIT, Open Door. I got CoreWeave as a crazy mover as well. So I doubt Tesla is going to be one for the first few minutes of the day. You can only look at so many things at once, and with Google, Nvidia, AMD, and then throwing in a small capper in there, it's kind of tricky. And then also, like I said, can't ignore IBIT because Bitcoin's moving a ton. It's easy to forget about IBIT with Nvidia earnings, but I don't think we should.
Yeah, we'll look at Bitcoin. I didn't realize it was moving that much, but we'll have a double check on that as well. But look at Tesla. This is just 24 hours ago. We nailed this trade off of our sticky note. We were talking about yesterday. We actually wrote down 401. Here it is, right here. 400 to 402, and then this is our trade yesterday where we started small there at 402.50 or 403, 402 again, then 401, and it doubles down to 410, and then it just started to rip, and we had this whole move yesterday off the sticky note. Thanks for that, market junkie, right there. So, we're going to try to do it. My wife made some nice minestrone yesterday. Here it is right here. I was showing everybody that last night. That was pretty killer with some homemade chicken sandwiches, which were awesome as well. But Tesla, 406 to 408, a level that we're looking at here today. As Brendan mentioned there, EVs are now introduced again as a deduction there for the interest. So that's going to be good. Strong catalyst here for the United States, and looking for that continuation play now on Tesla. Of course, Palantir's always on my mind, but here it is right over here. Tesla, I don't think we drop down into that level. It's not doing much right now. But again, being patient has just worked so much. Like it dropped $6 yesterday where we nailed that price. So here it is right here, falling back in. We use longer time frames for this. This is a 5-minute chart. You see, this is the top right into here. So this little area is that 406 to 408 that we're talking about. So if we come back into some of these weekly tops right there, then we'll see if we can support that. Pretty simple talk right there. Right now I'm bidding Google, at $300, 301 basically. Palantir at 169, SoFi at 27, and the TQs. Oh, by the way, today, happy TQQ split day. So we don't have, unfortunately, our charts still don't play nice. So we don't show that split right now. But if you're going to look at the TQs, you're like, oh my God, I'm holding this position. You're just going to have double the shares today than you did yesterday. So still up 6% as the NASDAQ's up 2%. So there's a lot happening. We just got the imbalances right now on the market. It's Nvidia. What a surprise. Nvidia catches a bid right here off the open. In my army, what's up to the brigade? The Big Bear AI brigade pounding their chest out today as well, up 5%. Mara with a downside play. Bitcoin's only 91.2 right now, so we'll have to look at that as its upside there. Snapchat's a bid. I'm not really seeing anything else there. SMR got a little bit of a boost there from yesterday's lows, up 7% here today. So, all right, back over the desk. Tesla, we just did it. Let's go talk about PanW, a name that I love the space, but I guess they're making an acquisition, creating some downside pressure to the name.
Yeah, trying to recover a little bit here so far this morning. We're back above 197 right now, having trouble 197.50. But yeah, they did announce a new acquisition, which the market didn't like. Even with some of these numbers, at least, not all that bad for PanW.
Yeah, as I kind of mentioned last night, the word I used was tepid with regards to their guidance, but they did report a double beat here. So adjusted EPS 93 cents versus 89 expected. Sales $2.474 billion, above estimates of $2.461 billion, though it's kind of a narrow beat. Q2 adjusted earnings, Brendan, they guided 93 to 95 cents. Sales between 2.57 and 2.59 billion dollars. So both of those like right in line with estimates. Kind of, I guess, middling. And then they raised their fiscal 26 guide, but even then, that's still both for the EPS and sales well within the range of their estimates. So again, tepid guide, but nice earnings beat for PANW. I do quickly want to mention that acquisition as well. Acquiring Chronosphere for a total consideration of $3.35 billion in cash. So not a small acquisition, guys.
On the AI side, that Chronosphere, but I think it's more the size, the price tag that they paid versus actually the usefulness or potential usefulness once they bring it under the hood, guys. But as I said, it looks actually a little bit better here now for PanW.
She made a really nice recovery. I'm just kind of reminded about what happened last earnings. It was very similar, not the same price, but you actually had a few days down and 3 specific, and then you even fell for a couple more days and then rounded the bottom. So I think patience for the dip buy here, just because it's bouncing the 200 period and we're gapping up. Well, okay, we're gapping from the lows last night. We're not really gapping up, but you get the idea. That doesn't give it the all systems go, in my opinion, unless it's starting to hold 200 again and then breaking higher. So I still feel like you put on the 3-day rule here. And I'll be willing to be pretty patient with PanW. I like them, but yeah, we'll see how they close today. I was mentioning that Bitcoin, I know Sean just talked about IBIT, not looking as strong. A little bit of a bounce here. So as the market was holding the highs, anyone that was looking at Bitcoin would have seen IBIT break support and fall. So for now, we're still working with the same premise like yesterday. It's like I wasn't joining the long until it was holding above the volume weighted average price and then breaking away. So, and if I see that same thing happen again, then fair. Then you're in an upward trend. If it breaks trend, look for that potential reversal where I have my eyes on, sort of the usual suspects, Mara being one of them. You just get a little more bang for your buck when this one falls to the downside reverse relative to Bitcoin is what I'm searching for. So if we hold VWAP, then I want to join trend in IBIT. If it breaks trend, I'll jump out, hope that it can hold VWAP on the way back in. Otherwise, Mara is the place that I would rather be to the short side. We did show the imbalances, not much. Still not much. Only 1 minute to go. Archer is there for 400,000 SMR and then BBAI. No big cappers showed up at the last second to steal our attention away from Nvidia at the open. Very key hold of 195. That's where there was a monster level yesterday in the aftermarket.
So yesterday we just talked about trading a little bit of IBIT. Yesterday we indicated a great level of 51.50. This is my trade yesterday on Bitcoin and whoopsies and on IBIT there. 51.50 breaks and there it goes all the way to the downside where we eventually get out once it breaks the 50 period moving average for what was yesterday $1 on that trade. But of course we get out as it starts to drip down there for IBIT. So we'll look to see if we can do that again. You can actually hit that 51.50 again today on IBIT. But here we go, man. Only 30 seconds left. We're going to watch out for some Google. So where my eyes are at, Google right there, down to $300. If that comes in, we're just going to look for that. Palantir, I don't know, man. We're down at 169 on that one. SoFi, we didn't get a talk here, but SoFi I like as well, down at 27. Thank you to Beta Pro and Global X for sponsoring this opening bell, which kicks off in just 5 minutes right now. But SoFi's on my mind is 5 minutes, 5 seconds. 5 minutes maybe. We'll definitely be in some trades by the time that kicks. There's Google right now, down to 304, just real quick on that one. We'll take a quick little look to see what Nvidia's doing right now. Again, remember, we do have those imbalances that have to get cleared out, so we'll just wait to see what this first little movement is there on Nvidia. It looks like downside for now on that name. It's Palantir's going oppo. They're just going up right now, looking to break through 173 is Palantir. So yeah, man, NASDAQ up 1.92%. Congratulations on the longs that held overnight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so far, I would say so good, but maybe a little bit of a pullback happening. That 95 is gone here in NVIDIA. So unless we regain that 95, I'm not really looking for crazy buy the dips. Okay, Google's down at 302. Yeah, Google's just checking out. I mean, IBIT is still holding underneath VWAP, so it's not really doing much of anything. I guess we're trying to be pretty patient in here. CoreWeave is also a bit of a play, but it was Open Door that I didn't get a chance to talk about. That's my bad. Open Door, oh, it's already failed 7. So Open Door, I don't think it should rally that much on the AI play, and it was already breaking down on the daily. So if this one's not going to break the high.
It's Tesla.
Tesla's going?
Tesla's absolutely ripping.
Of course,
Tesla just went up $5. Like it went from 413 up to 418 right now, pretty nicely. Okay, man.
418, you said?
Yeah.
Google's at 300.
Yeah, that was my next look right now. So here's Google all the way dropping down in. I'm going to take a small bid here if we can get it. Okay, we'll have to punch high, a little bit higher there now. Okay, so now we're into it on Google. As it's trying to break below, man, this is not something that we necessarily thought was going to happen here on Google, but it is happening. So let's pay attention, man. Down into 3 bills right now goes Google. So I'm going to go long, just real small, man. If we break through 300, then what's next? I wrote down 297, 296. Area here for Google. So we'll be in this for a short time, but not a long time if it doesn't hold. So here we go, man. We're long on Google. Let's give that a little bit of breath here. We're just long right now at 301 virtually, right? Just a little under that. But nice dip down there. 297 is an area for me. So if we lose 300, let's get out around 299.50 or so and then regroup on this trade, okay? So 299.50 is our stop.
NVIDIA is absolutely it's now through 94, heading down into 93. So, you know, I'm not hitting anything long until that happens. But I might have missed AMD to the short side. But IBIT, here, this is NVIDIA. I'm going to leave NVIDIA up for you guys and then just quickly show you what's happening in IBIT. It just wicked the volume weighted average price. So I'm going to slip in. This was the only place I was really looking for short. If it fails VWAP, short. If it's above VWAP, long. But with NVIDIA kind of still heading to the downside, I'm taking my first shot right here in the 80s on IBIT. It'll be a relatively tight stop because ultimately I want NVIDIA to play for a bounce. Just have to be patient with it because it's still trending to the downside here in NVIDIA. No green candles, but look, it's only been 3 minutes. So on a 3-minute chart, you're only going to have 1 candle, right?
Yeah, for sure. So right now we are getting we just got a little bit out there, but now it just came right back in again. It just touched 301 again there for Google, but this is reminding me definitely of like what happened yesterday to us on Tesla and a couple other days where we just kind of like, you keep defending something, and then eventually it breaks. But Google, man, what an aggressive pullback. I mean, it was 305. Now you're back down. And remember, it's economies of scale here. I mean, as the stock gets more and more expensive, you have to expect bigger moves, right? Like a 1% move on 300 is going to be different than that on $200. I don't need to tell you guys that. So let's just be a little bit patient here. And that's why I'm saying, like, if we lose the 200 period right here at basically 299.70s or so, then we'll get out. But we are reloaded this name again, and here it goes, right back up to the upside. We just get another fill there. Not even sure what that price was, 70s, but here it comes right back to the upside, 80s, 90s. Go Google, man. Go Gadget Google right now to the upside. We'll take out a little bit more, but so far so good. As our #1 trade idea, Google long at 3 bills right now. That was the low. Here it comes right back up to the upside. There it is, Neil. It's already a daily goal met right there on Google, but this is just temporary, as now the daily goal is gone because it breaks back down below that 301. So here we go. Okay, right back up again. Let's see what happens now with Google. We still got about a unit and a bit on. Now we have 35% out, so we have about 70% on right now on Google. Monster winner over on this side.
Yeah, 1 for 1 so far on IBIT, but 420 here. Tesla's going absolutely nuts. You already said Tesla's the craziest stock. It just hit $420 and is pulling back off that big resistance level, psychological, but pull up any chart and you know that Tesla at 420 is a bit of a thing. So I think it can dip off of this. I don't want to be short Tesla, and it's obviously not going into that zone of 410 that we were talking about anytime soon. So VWAP sits 416. If we have any pullback, that is where I am going to look. Wasn't going to sit on any bids if Nvidia was still falling, but you're patient enough. Here comes a bottoming tail candle in Nvidia. If it can show me green, then I'm going to take my first shot. It's below that 195, so we let it fall a little bit in here. So got Nvidia locked and loaded and ready to go. Once it can close, showing a little bit of green, give me that bottoming tail, long into 195, hold over 95, and that's a place to add. Reloaded in IBIT because that just failed VWAP again, but I'm peeled on Nvidia right now, looking for that strong close here. It's only been 5 minutes, and the NASDAQ has gone VWAP to high and back down underneath, so nothing crazy, and I'm not jumping in too early. That's basically been the bane of most of the trades, is kind of jumping in before we have the curl. All right, IBIT got to reload. Going to get another bid out in the 70s. If this gets to the low of the day, probably going to require the market to come with it, though.
Nice, yeah. 91.3. I mean, everything's really quiet right now.
Nvidia just lost that higher low, by the way.
Yeah, so we just got some out at 302 there on Google. Like I was saying, like this is going to be 50 cents. Well, right now it's about 70 cents worth of risk. We're in the money 70 cents.
Here we go.
So I feel fine about what we've been doing on this one. Let's just try to hold and see if Google wants to just continue its higher move right now. GOOL. You can trade either one, Google or Goog, the different class of shares. But there goes Palantir, up 5%. Let me check out what's going on with Walmart here on their earnings day. Yeah, again, the switch over to NASDAQ, we did get a little bit of a dip down. We were sort of expecting that move, but it doesn't look like it was extended enough. Only down to 102.7. There goes Walmart, nicely cooking back up to the upside. I'm going to take another little piece there on on Google if it comes back in, and we'll try to reload what we already have. But it's a monster. It's now $1.30, $1.40 now in the money on Google. Let's just check in while everybody's here, man. Let's see what's going on with Nvidia one more time. 194. So yeah, we thought there would be some profit taking. The level that I did not write down was nothing. I didn't write down anything, but you can look right here, 192 and change. Yo, what's up? 420.69 top on Tesla. Is that what it is, actually?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Tesla-ish. Yeah, we have 420.73, but yeah, that's unbelievable how close that is. So thanks for that. That's real funny, man. You really made my day on that one. All right, take out another piece up here. Why not OB? I mean, now it's $2 in the money on this play right now. So things are just going swimmingly on this side right now. And I know Neil's got some good trades there with IBIT and whatnot. So there it goes, man. Now we're 250 now in the money on this Google trade. It is your #1 trade idea. If you're not following me now, fine. But there it goes. #1 idea on the list right there was, hey, it just says 300 long. You know, the low of the day there for Google is literally 300, and that's where we're long right now, $300.20, 250 now as it continues to go higher. Probably Meta also screaming a little bit. Yeah, there goes Meta. So this whole space really starting to go, man. Maybe we can, again, have quite a nice trade here happening for us on Google, but, you know, giving it some room. Now, Palantir trying to pull back. The other idea I had was SoFi, and then I'll throw it back over to Neil quickly. SoFi, yeah. 27 and change. Yeah, I mean, it does have a nice move, but I was waiting for the pullback to happen here today. It doesn't look like it's happening right this second. So another out. Whoopsies. Did I get rid of too many shares there? I think so. But there goes Google. No, I didn't. Okay, good. So there goes Google back up to the upside one more time as we get some out at 302. A little nervous about the futures right now because they're not moving too much.
They're still looking okay.
They're still looking okay, yeah.
I took the first shot in Nvidia. I did get a reload in IBIT and took some more out on the bid, but I mean, Nvidia is more important, so let's just keep it here for a quick little second. Was breaking back up after that bottoming tail candle, so jumped in the long on the third 3 minute, and then immediately it did not hold that bar. So probably gonna have to look for some higher lows in here. Like I looked over, okay, what's the other name that I'm trying to watch here? AMD, kind of a similar story, not doing anything I like. And then the third one, if neither one is cooperating, would have been CoreWeave, but then CoreWeave is looking even worse than the other two in terms of any kind of a long. So the chips just might have to wait a few more beats because NVIDIA is still heading down. Oh, I didn't get, well, if the stock is downward sloping, then I'm just going to quickly adjust IBIT shorts underneath the volume weighted average price. That just continues to slide lower, so I don't really see a change of plan there. And then the other name that was lashing off the open, where's my fail key? Is Open Door. So, you know, you can only look at a few things at once. Try to short 7, and then when it broke down at the open, pun not intended, obviously, did not get filled as it broke lower. So Open Door probably gonna have to wait for this one to pop back into the upside, but you can only like aggressively execute in like one place. So for now, we'll just stick with the short in IBIT, but Open Door is one that I wanted to play the other way. I just didn't feel like this, like why was it gapping up? It doesn't make any, that doesn't get the, you don't get to participate automatically, Open Door. That was my logic. So I felt like if it lost the $7 area, it was kind of an easy opportunity for a short trade. It was, if that was the only thing you were focused on.
Okay, I mean, I'm not hearing like any news coming in my ear at all, but
I had to restart mine.
We do have, oh, maybe I'll have to restart it. I don't hear anything going on. We do have right now, we want to just remind people that we do have our sticky note out, and we do also have right now, which states we had 300 long written for Google, but right into here, what numbers are coming out here today, as I tweeted it out earlier. There it is right here. So at 10 o'clock, we have existing home sales. So that's going to be coming in 20 minutes. That could be interesting as well. We had unemployment today come through at 4.4, so a little bit higher than expected, and that's what sort of sparked the market, as we do have a better Fed rate tool right now update. And you know, yesterday it was down to 29% chance of a cut. Now you're up to 41% chance of a cut. So that's what's helped rally this market just a little bit. But the market's coming back in, and if we're not going to be able to hold some of these levels, and we do have to scram, right? We were getting some more outs there on Google. It doesn't look like 302 might have been the top. We got to take $2, man, when it's there. So that's exactly what we wind up doing now with Google. We are going to reload. We did put a little bit more on when it comes down in. Remember where our stop is, man, 299.50, which may stop out. You know, and if it does, then that's the life of a trader, and we're going to take that stop out if it does happen. But we are putting out orders now to get out some of this reload, because we just got some more shares in there at the quarters. So not okay. There it is again. So that's another reload. So if you missed it the first time, no excuses now, as it comes right back in and got another opportunity to get it. Now, whether or not it works or not, I'm not sure. We're taking some more outs here in the 70s. We've added to our position. So this is giving me the opportunity to get some out here, as we have a little, I don't want to say nervous hands or anything here, but not sure what this market wants to do. Hopefully it does bounce off this VWAP, and then that reload is going to really pay dividends for us, as here it comes right back up to the upside one more time for Google. So
that bounced to the upside. There was just a big volume spike on Nvidia. Ooh, someone just got eaten too. There was just a big volume spike on Nvidia. At least on the tape, I saw someone kind of swipe it to the upside. And, ooh, I guess I got out of everything. Yeah, I did. Oops. I'm going to jump back in on the first available pop on IBIT. A little distracted by the Nvidia tape, I'm not going to lie. I'm staring at that one, looking for some kind of a turn. I thought I was seeing one. It didn't happen. And then punching out of IBIT when I saw some buyers in there. But I'm going to stick with this one short side. Like when it was downward trending yesterday, like there was like a million chances for you to get back into this. If it's weak, it tends to catch these bids every now and then. We can jump into the short again. But what I was mentioning over there with Nvidia, which may or may not be holding, it's right in here at that 193 change that I've seen a couple of times. Some aggressive buyers really step into this name, and this might be the time. Just checking if AMD's better. It's not. CoreWeave CoreWeave is the biggest was the biggest percentage mover, was double digits, but it's not as strong either. So it really is just the NVIDIA story here. So now it's looking a little bit stronger off that higher low at the 193. I'm gonna get myself a stop out in there. And if I see it come down there again in the same kind of buying, then I'll be a dip buyer off that level. So really only traded 2 names today. Should have been 3 because obviously Open Door was an easy short, but NVIDIA is a much better opportunity, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm always speechless, it seems like, when we're sitting in these trades. But, you know, we got to let them develop. And we just did it again. So it was another one. And then you can take your Lambo. I don't know how many shares people are using. Hopefully not that many. But there it goes right now, Google. Just another reload right there. So don't struggle for trades, man. Just make the easy ones. And that's I think, part of what I'm doing anyways. And I did want to look at Tesla, but it's already gone. This was a name that we had written down as the long, but this has been, for myself, such a big name, P&L wise over this week. But we should have looked at it today. I was just trying to play the same dip that we have played numerous times, but does not hold out there today for Tesla because there's no dip at all. It's just straight upside. And, you know, because Randy got us a coffee, we'll always check on Rivian. Ooh, Rivian, nice day today too. Wow, boom. Up 4.5%. That name's starting to go upside there. And they're going to receive credit for that as well, right? I mean, we probably should have talked about Rivian and all that. It's not just the Teslas, it's the EV, right? So the EV space getting the bump today because of the interest deductibility on your taxes. So there goes Rivian, nice upside play there as well. And then the other name that I wanted to look at, we're still looking at Palantir, but SoFi just took out $28 again and is trying to pull back just a little bit here. So we're really, you know, I've put together a really nice day here today, but at the same time waiting for a little bit more upside. I'll take another piece out here on Google just in case that upside doesn't exist. Like Google's having a problem at 302. So I'm not 100% sure where this name wants to go. So I'm going to hold out. I'm waiting at 302 quarter, then at 302.70. But nice upside play right now. Tesla, what's up, Rare Seed? 428. I took 100K in calls at open. It's a Porsche type of day.
That's oddly.
There we go, man. Yeah, you and I alike there, looking over at Tesla, and a great trade there. We just wet our beak with Google, but yeah, good trade. We can look at Tesla for you just real quickly. Boom. I mean, if you took that on open, I don't even know how much money you've made on that because I don't really know. I don't trade calls or options or anything like that, so I'm assuming the optionality on that, you've probably made more than a couple Porsches maybe on that play. So congratulations for you, big baller, Rare Seed, as you get a nice, huge move right there to the upside. I'm just at 2 times my day right now, which is good for me, but it's a nice move up there for Google. I know Neil's gonna just do the 2 names and do 1 for 1 and 1. Great opportunities all over.
Third, I did get an Open Door.
Oh, Open Door, okay, so. I don't know. I want to get
it. It goes right to VWAP. I mean, what are you supposed to say?
Is
like
that 7?
No, 7 was where I wanted it off the open. Pun not intended as usual, but it goes right into VWAP. I just left the order in there, like pick me up, and we'll try to get to the low of the.
Dude,
it's not the low of the day, but it's about 666. So really, it's just play VWAP to the lows and then reload it when we get the chance. Still not seeing the buying I want out of Nvidia yet.
Oh, Google.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a much better, that's a candle you're looking for. See that bottoming tail candle through 93, I believe it is? That's the kind of like meme crazy candle. I know you like to say the word meme crazy, but that's what you like to see. So it closed the prior candle at 94, and then you have this ridiculous topping tail at 93. So I want to play this one. If you close above VWAP, I think it's an add all the way to 96 would be like the barcode area here in the pre-market. So NVIDIA is trying to go again. We'll see if it can. I'm still not reloaded in IBIT, so that's not really going anywhere. And just essentially just looking for the low of the day on Open Door. But yeah, the market's trying to rally. We're about to bust through the high of the day here. And if we break the high of the day, certainly NVIDIA is a name that wants to try to help this party to the upside. And Tesla, go Tesla for sure. Drop system, I would make an assumption that if we continue this strength, CoreWeave also is going to do well. But you can't look at every single name simultaneously.
Oh boy, Google's still going upside, but what you can do is scan that QR code right in front of you right now and check out the Beta Pro product by Global X. They do have 3 times daily levered ETFs. It's a new product. They do have a fee holiday until December 31st of this year, down to just 65 basis points. Scan that QR code. It's 3x TSX 60, utilities, treasuries, and all of that. We want to thank Beta Pro, and make sure you just scan it. Go check them out, man, if you are a sophisticated, savvy trader here in Toronto or Canada. Yeah, it's funny because I noticed Nvidia is not really making the moves up there, which it probably should be, considering what this market's doing. But Google for sure is, and there goes Google right now. Now $2+ in the money now for Google. I know you're on, everyone can watch you trading Nvidia there, but I'm gonna look quickly at AMD as it's still pushing a little lower here. Low. We'll see if Nvidia helps this stock or not, but right now it is AMD to the downside. It is Nvidia also starting to troll back down in as well right now, but it's holding out fine. It's just moving around a little bit. So you have to watch out for AMD, watch out for Google, watch out for Palantir, and let's go over and see what Adara's up to.
Yeah, I want to talk here about META. I'm just seeing this headline come out here suggesting the Spanish court has ordered Meta to pay over or pay publishers roughly $550 million in data protection related disputes. So again, looks like Meta has been ordered to pay roughly $550 million in a data protection related dispute. If I get more details, I'll let you know, but I just saw this headline pop up and I did want to mention it. META, for what it's worth, still near day's highs. Back to you.
Still near those days highs? Well, I can tell you we tried that close above on Nvidia. It does not want to go. I'm only buying way up. I'm not buying on the way down in this stock. Not going to happen. I'm only going to buy higher highs and higher lows. I missed IBIT, so I've just quickly adjusted something on IBIT, just a bit of a change. I'm shorting the lower high instead of VWAP here. So continuation is just going to have to be shorting lower highs, as I've said. So the curl just happened at about 51.6. There's still a lot of room, and the market's breaking out, and this is breaking down, so I feel pretty good that that's going to be a continuation short. And I haven't made the adjustment yet on Open Door. I still feel like that's headed down toward that low, and VWAP is a place to go for that one. And then I did look over at CoreWeave to see if it was a little bit more clean, and I don't think it is. Like, CoreWeave is still looking incredibly weak. I would normally be short AMD under these circumstances, but I'm just not pulling the trigger on AMD. Like I said, if Nvidia was underneath 185, sorry, check that 195, that I wanted short AMD. And Nvidia keeps failing 195, and I keep not wanting to actually short this thing. So I might have to, if Nvidia ends up holding this trend much longer, then I got to go back to the original plan of action, which was another short, and it was in this name, AMD, which is relatively weak. There's no question about it. It's near the low of the day, while Nvidia is still trying to climb higher.
Yeah, I know. I hate when that happens, when you get out of the stock and it's kind of like at that bottom. But I think you're right, man. You don't know. These things could easily break. And there's Nvidia right there. And now back to the upside. But, you know, we'll just continue to trade strong. And we'll flex our muscles around here, that's for sure. I mean, there it goes. Now we're $3 in the money. So, yeah, good trading now for Google as it just continues to go higher. And there goes Nvidia breaking now 195. So that's going to be a good trade right there. Should have just bought that dip in there into 194. But there goes Nvidia. Monster play now to the upside. And I want to give a shout out to Obi over here because he mentioned this. Wow, Nvidia is really starting to go. I should have noticed that that was going meme crazy because it's going right now. But look at Apple, man. I mean, can't be... Honestly, I could be happier with the stock, but not that much happier. I really like the way Apple held that 270. And now it's just straight up, straight fire in the booth now to the upside. But oh boy, here we go, man. One trade on, man. We're the one trade wonder today. Well, it's on twice. But again, it's just following our rules, man. We come into the 200 period moving average. And you know, when you're trading a little bit of bigger account and whatnot, very important for me, and this is a change that I've made recently, just focus on the strong trade. And if something comes in, deal with that, right? Don't always look elsewhere because you'll get distracted and you might miss pops like what just happened there. If I wasn't looking at this, I probably wouldn't have been as aggressive right there at 303, but we're able to get it out as it goes to the 50 period moving average. The 200 up to the 50, that's a clean out for me. So yeah, good trading right now on Google. I'm gonna put another piece out right here at 30s. There it is, we get that. And now we'll just continue to watch it. Maybe our stop will be VWAP or so, but we now have about 15 to 20% left. So relatively light now on Google as we wait to see what's going on with the NASDAQ. And remember, I haven't traded the TQs today, but if you are looking at this as a possible trade, they did split. So our charts right here on the daily, until we get that fixed, won't show the split adjusted. So I'm going to be pulling down E-signal and whatnot to look at the TQQs. And I know we always miss names and everything like that, so make sure that if you are joining us for the first time, first of all, hit the subscribe right now. There's a certain percentage of you right now that need to hit that button, and that is including 21.5% of you need to hit the subscribe button. So it's right now you want us to look at Tesla, Nvidia, SGDX, BBAI up 7% today, Walmart up 5%, so you're not going to get that dip down to 100. Open Door, Neil was just on that, or still is, up 1% right now. Wow, Google up $3. More than that, but $3 in the money this trade. SoFi up 4. Webull reporting tonight. They're up 3.5%. There's our Google. There's TQs as we discussed that. Meta and AMD. So here we go, man. Make sure you type into the chat $ whatever, and it will add you to this total. And there it goes as I hit enter. More names popping in there. Palantir making its way up 4% as well. But yeah, man, so far so good here today as we just riding that Google wave higher, man, and taking some more out now that we're at 303 again.
James Choi in the chat was asking why go short IBIT when the market is strong? Because it's in a downtrend. It's that simple. You know, ultimately, it's in a downtrend off VWAP, and I'm playing over-under on VWAP pretty much like yesterday. Yesterday at the open, it was over VWAP at the open, and then a trend break to then eventually go short. Well, today, it's a short. It could easily be a trend break, usually with like a longer trend. It could be a trend break to go long after that. And it's the same thing with Open Door, although I'm more agnostic to which direction the market goes on Open Door, because the market could continue to go higher, and I feel like there's a higher probability that Open Door could continue to go down. Eventually, a strong enough market probably pulls Bitcoin with it, I would think, but not so much, or not. I wouldn't make the assumption when it comes to Open Door. At least that's my 2 cents. If we're going to play catch up, at this point, I always like when you have enough data. We're about almost at 10 o'clock now. Like, here's a possible trend break coming on COINBase, but look for a setup that I like. NVIDIA's above 95. That means chips can be long above 95, yes. And CoreWeave's trying to make this trend break here off the $80 level. So that's a setup that I like. It's the setup I'm going to take. And you know, that's one of those things. Like when James Choi is like, well, why would you do this if the market's going that way? I don't care about being right about the direction of the market, and no trader should care about that. You should just care about being P&L positive and over a long term. So do the actions that are positive over the long term. So if I find trend breaks or relative strength and weakness work for me, that's what I will go for sure.
Oh my God, you guys can always ask us, of course. This is what we talk about. I mean, we're trying to be as honest as we possibly can be.
Why is this guy here?
You can, I have no idea. You can ask us at any time if we are P&L positive or not. So, and you can just keep track and whatever, ask us, doesn't matter. But there goes Google right now,
Definitely,
man.
100%.
It is just riding to the upside right now, Google. 304 and change right now. So here we go, Neil. 450 now in the money on this trade on Google. And we showed you yesterday, man, we nailed that Tesla bottom for $12, $11. I don't have a target in mind here, like as far as P&L is concerned or anything. I'm just trying to play levels. So right there, there's 90s. So 305, we're going to take some out. Like, you know, we always talk about, for me anyways, is that I can have no problem, obviously, finding winners. I mean, if you guys are watching the show, it's about trying to hold the right amount of shares and trade the right amount of shares. So that's something that I deal with right now. But once again, it's a big trade right there. And I just want to tell you, we've hit multiple day goals here again. So it's just a really good one. And it's just off of our own strategies, right? It's everybody should do their own work. But if you're going to look here, yesterday we had Monster, sticky note, and today, there it is, man, our one trade, the only one that hit. Google, $300 long. It's our #1 idea there. We have SoFi long, Palantir long, Tesla long. So these are the 4 longs that we're looking for there today. And there goes Google again, man, right up. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't use Fibonacci's, RSI's, nothing like that. This comes right in. And if you want to hear about Fibonacci's, we have Obi coming up very, very soon. 305 right there was the day high. So that's where we sort of empty out a little bit more because we got the move that we needed. So the move came in right there, right? And so that's just an area for me to look at. Tesla was the one, I don't know, man. I mean, Neil and I were both looking at this, and this just kept on going. Just straight crushing right there is Tesla. Up 5%, up to 420 and change. This is a name that's obviously on my shopping list and should have bought it at 400. So, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't at the end of the day. And, you know, if you guys bought it at 400, congratulations. It looks like it's going to be a winner moving forward. Robo-taxis, so on and so forth. All the good talk there for that. So, yeah, Mr. Inglewood, I don't know, if it doesn't show up on Instagram, Marissa sort of puts that up on there because I'm doing this. So you could definitely check it out on X. So, yeah, I know you guys are all looking for it. So I apologize if it wasn't there, but what are you going to do? It'll be there soon. If not, just check X, okay? Or the show. Log in at 8:30. I mean, I show it all the time, and you guys will be okay to find that out. But yeah, so far so good, man.
I find Inglewood's always up to no good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ice Cube.
That was no. That's shoot.
That's Easy. Is that Easy?
No, it was Dre.
No good. Oh, is it?
Right?
Oh, Dre. Okay.
California Love.
Yeah, Tupac and Dre.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that
now
California Love is.
Now I'm questioning my reality.
Yeah, Inglewood. Yeah, is up to no good. Yeah, that makes sense. It's either
good.
Dre or Tupac. Yeah, I would say so. What's up, Hamster One? Right back at you, my guy.
All right. So I've reloaded in three things. I've reloaded in IBIT, trend break in CoreWeave to play to the volume weighted average price. So there's a little bit of a trend break, and then IBIT IBIT. Well, we have numbers coming up. So IBIT essentially lower high pop. So we're short this one on the trend line there. Let's go to Adara. We have actual numbers, believe it or not, at 10 o'clock.
Booyaka.
We're waiting on its existing home sales here. 4.08 million is the forecast. And this print coming in at 4.1 million. So actually higher than expected existing home sales print here. Existing home sales change also higher than expected. 1.2% versus forecast of 0.5% up, but that number is a little bit lower than the previous of 1.5%. Market just continuing to truck higher, not caring too much about this data. Again, here is the NASDAQ just on this upward trajectory, being led, of course, by Nvidia on earnings. NVDA, day one earnings, they did beat here on EPS and sales. Strong year-over-year growth. Their data center revenue also beating estimates, strong year-over-year growth. And we have to talk here about that demand for their AI infrastructure, because we know AI is really the name of the game here with NVIDIA, or NVDA, NVIDIA, and CFO Colette Kress saying that demand for AI infrastructure does continue to exceed expectations. Then we've got Palo Alto Networks, PANW, beating on EPS and sales, but guidance a bit tepid here across the board, in line for both the quarter and the fiscal year of 2026. Walmart also reported earnings. WMT actually switching to the NASDAQ as of December 9th. And tonight after the bell, we get Webull and Gap reporting, amongst some other names. Before we send you back to Neil and to Sean, I want to take a moment to thank our friends at Origenics. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. So with the concussion market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. We'll send you back here to Neil and to Sean.
Oh, the lights come back on.
For some reason, it went right to my screen there, but we're still in Google. Yeah, we're just going back and forth with the lights, so if they go off, be ready. But yeah, so more outs there at 304, 305 for me for Google, so so much the same. But it's Neil right now in 3 positions. So I think, is CoreWeave a new one for you?
CoreWeave was the newest on a trend break, and then IBIT continued the trend. So just very quickly, continued the trend. 1, 2, 3 points, 4th time. Well, I shorted VWAP here. That was the explanation because it was a volume-weighted average price. But now I'm just shorting the trend line into the low of the day over on IBIT. And then CoreWeave came over and broke its trend, but having some trouble. Having a little bit of trouble. Ooh, that's crazy. Having a little bit of trouble trying to hold higher. So when I see some resistance at first resistance, trim, my stop is pretty much always going to be under the prior bar. So if that one comes out, that's where I'm getting out of it. Open Door, I still have not been able to get any more shares of Open Door, so that short. I feel like Open's the one that I just keep on missing. Like I'm maybe in the wrong spot. Like IBIT's been on target, but Open Door, like just now, I was sort of sitting here at 84, and then it kind of only gets to 82, so just barely missed and have to reassess. I'm gonna cancel that bid, don't need it out in the ether. Just have to play this one a little bit closer to the vest and maybe see where in the taper on the level 2 is a good place to reload. Because I just threw an offer at VWAP and got filled the first time. So that was, like, sometimes that's just blind luck, right? It's like, oh, that's the volume weighted average price. I put it on the line and get the fill. That's not usually how it works. So I might have to be a little bit more patient with this. All right, IBIT. I saw my level 2 over here that somebody was trying to hold these. It's like 47 level, pretty much where it bounced before. So if there's a decision to be made, I'm not going to wait 2 cents lower. I'm just going to take some out there and see if we can't continue on the trend. The market is trending higher. So at some point, if this breaks the trend and breaks VWAP, I want to be long. I started long this yesterday on a VWAP, but it went the other way today. And I'll just trade VWAP until it breaks the trend. And if it does, that's a reversal all day, every day. AMD says TLP. I haven't really looked at that one as much. Again, like I said, you can only look at so many things. That just looks like Bitcoin. I would just treat AMD like IBIT right now. Like, it's trending down. If it can break and bust VWAP and join the rest of the market, fantastic. But I also felt like CoreWeave would move into VWAP faster than it is. I might have missed a reload there too. I'm going to see if we can't get some back in the low 80s, I should say, in the 20s, and play this one to said volume weighted average price. I just heard about a halt. I haven't even looked at any small cappers today. So, oh, that's that one from yesterday. It's that silly stock, WeShop, from yesterday, the one that went 300 million%.
300 million%.
It's down 20%, but that's just because of how stupid the stock was in yesterday's trade. That can't be right. The volume's 19,000 shares on the day. It's halted up at 158 with a tap of 185, and it's traded 19,000 shares. There isn't a day trader, a real trader. This stock should be blocked realistically. I'd be surprised if we were even allowed to trade that with the volume as low as it is. We shouldn't be, in my opinion. Like, you make one keystroke error on that and you're
it's a problem.
You're absolutely done. I would stay away from that personally, but we know some people, traders on this channel were like, oh, we made some money on that. Congratulations. Just be careful. You've seen how fast it can drop.
All right, we do have a new position. I don't know how long it's going to last for. I don't want to interrupt there, but we are long Alibaba right now at 159.50s. So it came into the 200 period moving average, a nice aggressive move down in. So, I mean, look, the futures are going to have to pop for this to work out, and I'm not sure that's going to be the case, but we're going to wait for it now in the 70s, in the 90s. I'm losing this name if it breaks 40s. So we do not want to be in this like 20 or 30 cents, especially if the market is pushing the way it is, which it is, pushing down here. This is prime to break. But so I am waiting now in the 70s to get out of a piece. I actually had 73, and then we'll work from there. And then just over to the other trade that we have on board, that's going to be Google, and that was another clear out there at 305. I mean, it came right back into those levels again. So we take more out right there as it continues to go back and forth there. So just please, watch out. Make sure that you're trading the right names in the right spots, and you should be fine, right? So there we go. So now we're watching out for Google holding that $300 mark. 303 mark, sorry. We'll see if it wants to hold it. But there it is. If it does break, we're going to put, okay, there it goes. So breaks a little bit. I'll put an offer now at 85. Maybe we get something picked up back on the way back up now. But there's a break. So we do get a break of that 50-period moving average. Like I said, we are only into less than 15%. We just got a piece out right there. Now, we actually have less than 10% left now. And I have an offer right now at 85 or something that I just put out. So hopefully that will fill. There it is. Yep, there it goes. So now we are out there. Another little piece as we just continue to watch out for these names.
Where's my puke emoji for Meta?
Yeah, and I also just saw CoreWeave also. I know you were in that name. That just puked as well. And I know that people are talking about Meta there. And there goes BABA to the downside. So we take an L there. But the good thing about it is, and we talk about this all the time, is what I'll lose on BABA is I lost less on BABA than the position I currently have. And I only have 7% left on Google. So, we're talking about like 5% or so of the gain on Google we lost on Alibaba. So Ethereum just lost 3K. Okay,
this is the only key I have. I actually don't have the puke key anymore, Fabian. Okay, I don't know if Fabian can listen. Wait, there was one with, I looked like Deshaun Watson and there was like a puke thing. Yeah. But I lost the key for it. I'm sure it still exists, but I don't have it anymore. So CoreWeave comes out for sure. And you always try to compare apples to apples. So CoreWeave and Nvidia, which compared to, like, say yesterday when we're trading like Palantir, because whatever, IBIT and Open, are going to be different from those two. So I'm about 1-to-1 on Nvidia versus Palantir, and then Coin from yesterday was better than CoreWeave. So overall, still good, but I don't like the fact that we're not getting continuation. And the other thing that happened, whether I had been stopped out or not, I would have easily punched out regardless of whether I'd been stopped out because Nvidia lost that 95 in VWAP. So for now, we're headed back lower. I can show you what happened on Open Door before I get to Meta. It is what it is. I said I would wait for an actual topping tail candle instead of just sitting at the line of VWAP. Well, sitting at the line of VWAP blindly and just putting your order where the line was would have worked. I elected to wait for this confirmation candle, and Meta is for now broken. And I didn't think, and I still don't think until it does something a little more distinct that you can feel good about Meta at all. Right? Like to me, it's just a wait and slowly DCA as the valuation looks good because there's nothing about this that has made a bottom yet. Until it rounds out and maybe breaks here like 616, it's just in a slight downward trend. If the market's bad, it's going to be worse to a certain extent, or it's just going to be what the market is to the downside. In this particular case, the market's up 2, it's up 1.5. Shout out to Eddie. Thanks, Eddie. Another super chat for a small capper. I know that Luis had mentioned this as one of the strongest small caps. I don't remember what the news was, so apologies there. Oftentimes, unless you're trading it, you don't always know the story. But I know he liked this one to the upside relative to some of the others, and it's still going. Holding VWAP, this would have been in Shreef's wheelhouse if he was here today, no question about it. I don't see anything that stands out on the daily until you get to 9 to 950, and then obviously like these post-split prices at 1050. With 100%, with 99.9% certainty, there's hedgies that are going to short this thing when it gets up here. That's what they do. And the thing that makes them different is they can short it here, and they can short it here, and they can short it up there, and just waiting for it to come back down. And the reason that works, because it always does. So just be a little bit careful. Understand that these are good for a short time, not necessarily a long time. Trade it, but over the course of like days and weeks, we kind of know what happens to these.
All right. I hope you guys are looking at the bottom. You can always see at the bottom of the screen Neil and I's positions. It's just freezing. Like my hands are freezing in here right now, which is why I'm sort of sitting like this.
Yep.
But there it goes, man. We just bought the futures on that dip down. So bought them at 80s. Just got them out at 99s there, just ahead of, not a key level, but it's just a 50. I don't use, when I'm trading the NASDAQ or the TQs here, I don't use price really as an indicator. I'm just trading off of these lines. So we just came in there. I didn't actually notice it until we broke VWAP. It hit up on the scanner there. So once it broke, then I was just using basically some of these as our bottoms. So if we can get hit down here, then that's where we'll get out, right? A break of like 50s down there, but I do want to get some more shares if we do come into this area. So temporarily right now on the TQs long. So let's see if that can work back up there to the upside one more time. Google's still a monster. And then we actually got back into Alibaba right there. We obviously realized that we got stopped out. And then I just was like, oh, maybe we can get this back in again. So let's put some love on this name here. We'll punch a little bit out there and get a 71 fill. But there it goes. Cooking now back up to the upside is Alibaba. So that's going to be a good trade here for me there today. And then just quickly, as we continue to talk, Bitcoin getting hit again. We should have probably shorted like we did yesterday. Yesterday we got over $1 on that initial short, but here's the stock heat map for today. And oh boy, I'm just going to refresh this. Like, is this even for real? We had seen so much red on this board over the last couple weeks that it's really, or maybe the last week and a half, that it's really nice to see what we're experiencing here today, man. And it's not just all the chip names. I mean, Broadcom's up 5%, which is really great to see. Over here, you have Caterpillar continuously going higher as well. There's Lam, there's G Vernova. We talked about that in the pre-market as well, 3M. So a lot of these names continue to go, man. We are doing well now. Well, we've been doing, but there's healthcare is the only weak sector here today, as it's been really hot. So nothing to see there. J&J just did all-time highs, as well as Eli Lilly is there right now. And it's real nice to see this sector battling back, because I am still very, very long this guy right here, JP Morgan, like very long that name. So that's a good little bounce back there. And we never see SoFi on here, so I don't know where it is, but yeah, so all those.
Why isn't it?
I don't know. SoFi
It's only SPY names. So it's not on the S&P 500. It's not going to be there. That's why SoFi is not there. That's why Robinhood, Coin, etc. were only there fairly recently.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
XY.
I don't know. I don't know if Mark knows. We still don't have connection on our TV over here in the middle, so which is all good. I know Mark's doing stuff, so I don't know if that's planned or not. But okay, so here comes Rob. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at right now in the market. And look, a great day. Congratulations to everybody that is long today. It seems like no matter what sector you're in, you're probably having a decent day. What's up, Adara?
I want to tell you guys to hear about Google, GOOGL. Google Cloud announcing that their Google Threat Intelligence Group, or GTIG, is tracking a long-running and adaptive cyber espionage campaign by a group called APT24. Apparently this group has, been deploying bad audio, a highly obfuscated first-stage downloader used to establish persistent access to victim networks. So again, looks like some type of technical attack happening here from Google Cloud. Now, with regards to what they're doing from here, they said that they conducted a series of victim notifications with technical details to the compromised sites. Back to you.
Sound all that good, but sort of tracking these things starting to come back in here. I'm not going to lift my bid. Still bidding to get out at the curl point here on IBIT, and then the next available pop, we're going to get in again. That's the plan of action. I keep having to redraw this. I just hit save. If it disappears, it is what it is. So 51.5 to 51.6 will be the reload this time, and then for Open Door, which is still also heading lower, still looking at VWAP here, and then looking at yesterday's low a day for Open Door. Just looking for these to continue. Do not want to miss what might be a reversal bottom on these bad boys. And I know we're going to go back over to Adara in just a quick little second, but I wanted to release, look, Tesla's been going nuts. I know it's the top of the list there on the visualizer. It's not even at VWAP on this dip. So 422 is the volume weighted average price. I think that's a good spot to look if we catch a bid here. Adara again?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know JD Vance is making some comments about the economy, and they are not like super optimistic. He just said that JD Vance is the president, or the vice president, sorry, of the United States. He's saying that it'll take some time to feel the economic boom in the U.S. So saying it'll take a little bit to feel that economic boom. He also said that he believes the U.S. shutdown is, quote, going to cause some damage. I guess he means like in the aftermath because it is over. But he thinks it will be minor damage. So again, economic boom might take a while to feel, and likely that the government shutdown caused some damage. Back to you.
Well, I mean,
it probably did, but I mean, we just got to get these numbers.
Matter
right?
of how much.
They'll be the ones that sort of tell us the case. We just missed. We were bidding 60s, so we just missed that. So we take a little bit of a fill here, but we are waiting for lower, man. 52.60, like I said, is going to be a spot here, and then we'll just play it breaking through. That is 50. I just got to make sure I have the right stop. 52. Actually, I have the wrong stop. I had 52.45. Stopping right into here makes sense to me. Yeah, 52.40. So if it does come back in a little bit, let's play off of this bottom break there that was essentially the 830 number level, right? Which we've seen break before. So this is not going to be rocket science there. If we can break that level, 52.38, then we're going to get out. But looking to get more right here at 60s now on the TQQs. And it looks like we just missed it again down there. So, darn, that sucks. All right, so we just missed a decent fill down there at 60. I don't know, we were just bidding that level, so missed it. Let's see if it comes back in for us there now on the TQs. And a little bit of an average in on Alibaba again, but if this breaks 159, we want to get out. I know, thought a pullback here into the day's low for the futures might get bought up, but we do know that things are selling off today, right? I mean, Nvidia, although having a good day, no, still not up. No. Having a good day, not great, up 3.5%, but giving some back. The problem is no one's adding to their positions. Oh man, that sucks about the TQs. We just missed that. It's who's going to add to their positions upside on Nvidia, right? That's the real question.
I think everyone's waiting
right now. Yeah, I think everyone's going to wait to see if there is, a flush coming or something. But darn it, there goes the TQs. That's cooking right now, and Google also trying to break through highs one more time. So yeah, just getting in and out there. On the market for now, waiting for better opportunity, I guess.
So because we don't have a program screen, when I try to put the super chat up, I don't know if it's actually showing up on screen. It is. I'm gonna read. Eddie, thank you for another super chat there. Took 75K total today. You're done. You'll take the 911 for a cruise. Good luck, y'all. Shout out to you, Eddie. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you've got to conclude a trade and move on to the next. Like I just had both the shorts break trend. I don't know if you're on. Are we on my chart right now? I think so.
Just look over there. They have it.
Oh, they have it. Okay.
Yep, they're on your chart.
Almost knocked those glasses over. So bottoming tail candle, bottoming tail right here near the low on open door, and then a similar thing happening on IBIT as well. Is IBIT comes right back through the prior. I mean, look, it's the aftermarket highs, but I just saw the futures ramp off the volume weighted average price as both of these were right down around where the targets were going to be, so just jumped out of both of the shorts. I don't mind reloading them if we hold trend down. That's the thing. For both of these names, if we hold trend down, I do want to jump back into it. But remember, not with open door. Definitely not with well, probably not with open door, but certainly with IBIT. If this breaks the downtrend and holds VWAP, I wanted to be long this originally. So I'm definitely willing to open the door to being long, but for now, the trend is to the downside on this bad boy. It was Tesla as well that everyone was interested in. Doesn't quite get to the volume weighted average price, kind of wicks it and headed a little bit higher. So now I'll just wait patiently for the next available setup. I would love for IBIT to join the party. There's no guarantee that that's actually going to happen, but I can wait patiently. You had to wait for the right spot on trend to short it, so I'm certainly not going to long it without it breaking this trend line either.
All right, guys. More of the same. I mean, the NASDAQ just popped. Like, we are really, really reading the board good, man. We are going to basically go. I mean, we got to wait for Alibaba to do something, but we're going to go 3 for 3 today. And we were 4 for 4 yesterday. Things just really were. No, we took a hit near the end. I forget what it was. But we just had a great day yesterday. It looks like we're going to try to do that again here today as we just went boom, boom, again, back up to the upside here as Alibaba turns green for us finally here on the day. So that's a good one right now. We do want to make sure that we are still on Google, though. That's breaking through 412 right now. So that's going to be hopefully a good level for us. One more time, 304.12, sorry. There for Google, a new high that just made there on the last 5 minutes, and we should have maybe taken some out there on Google. So why don't we just put in order to do that right now? So, you know, the big stocks just keep on getting bigger right now. So that's a good trade there, obviously. I hope some of you are able to make that there. And yeah, just like we keep on saying, do you guys, that's for sure. There goes the TQQs right now, and they're starting to break higher. And again, this is my way of trading the NASDAQ. I just prefer trading an equity rather than trading the futures, right? We do have futures capabilities here to trade. If you just go NQZ25, this is what the physical futures, the E-minis look like right now. The NQ minis, not the E-minis, of course. This is what they're looking like. And yeah, just an interesting way of trading against the NASDAQ is by using the TQQs, right? So yeah, so far so good on that kind of a front right now as they're trying to fall back in. Alibaba, we didn't get that last fill at 60s, so this one's in danger as the futures once again turn right around there. All right, let's go over to Adara and see what she's up to.
Yeah, let's start here with a name that isn't necessarily a small cap that I know also happens to be a favorite of Sean. Big Bear AI, BBAG, slightly larger market cap in the low single-digit billions, but they announced some strategic memorandums of understanding this morning, or MOUs, to help accelerate development, integration of these advanced technologies through the Pahang Aerospace City. We also have SGDX. This name is a runner that has run in the past. I believe we might have had it mentioned here this morning by Luis Barbados as well. And they actually have a news catalyst this morning announcing they're shifting their focus away from home building and towards energy because they believe this is going to provide some more value for their shareholders. Let's talk here about LFS, last but not least. Another one that I've seen floating around in the past, Lifras. I could not find any news for this. This is an ADR. I will tell you as well, $185 million market cap. I couldn't find any float or short float information. That's really all I have on this, unfortunately. Before we send you back to Sean and Neil for more trading action and more NVIDIA earnings day one, we will take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Because, guys, for too long, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines. But guys, that is now changing because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets with its limited risk trading model. That allows traders to use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside, allowing traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. That's no fear and no barriers. Real opportunity. That's the revolution of limited risk trading, which is, of course, powered by Trade the Pool. So, guys, visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first valuation. Back to Neil and Sean. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Thank you, Adara. Yeah, so, Trade the Pool gives you lots of opportunities to trade various, different assets, different classes and whatnot. So, make sure you do check that out here. We'll primarily trade equity, but we have the opportunity to trade Bitcoin at Real Trading here, any sort of a futures contract, as well as over 60 different markets worldwide. So, yeah, great opportunities here at Real Trading. Here goes Alibaba. Hopefully that's going to the upside. We're still on Google, as that just told you we're going to get some outs. We actually got 2 outs up there, one at 304.50, one at 304. So this is still $4 in the money, man, and we're still going. And then look at this new trade right there. Oh boy, man. I said to Brittany we were doing it again yesterday, and oops, Brittany, but we just stole your thunder one more time. We did it again right now with that next play here on the futures. Huge move now, back up to the upside. And it's too bad because we didn't get our full boat down there, and if we did, then oh boy, that would be something else. But we didn't. So we're going to wait for that and see if that does fall back in and just take some more outs near the highs one more time again. So we're going to go 3 for 3 over here and right back to where we need to be, man. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Eddie Sarkeesian there. All the donuts are now in the back, man. Everybody that works around here are grabbing those right now. We didn't make that 75K, but if you're looking for something here, then you can see the winners are on board. And again, try to find out, watch us. You can always ask what the deal is over here. We're still working on our screen, so we don't actually see the program feed right now. Well, so we apologize.
I have the thing up, so I can.
Yeah. I can roughly see. I know it's on both of us right now. So we can't see anything, Randy. So what is the surprise? What the hell?
Oh, shoot.
It is my guy from ICE. How are you doing over here?
How's it going?
What are you doing up here?
I'm in for FISD. I just came. No,
no?
Today.
Okay.
No, I just came to.
Introduce yourself.
Am I on right now?
Yes. Yeah, we don't have the screen. You're on over there.
I gotta look thin.
You do. You look great.
Always.
Keep ICE Data Services in
Oh,
from
hold on a second.
New York City. Do I have to hit the button?
I think, yeah, maybe turn it on.
There you go.
There we go. Again, Mark.
Should I say it again?
Yeah.
Everyone's trading and throwing off the mojo here.
No, you're not.
So Mark from ICE Data Services worked just in the FISD conference this afternoon.
Good friend of ours.
My favorite group.
Good friend of ours.
So I brought in some Tim Hortons. They love me at Tim Hortons.
By the way, we like the way Ford's moving these days, man.
Oh,
we like the way Ford is moving these
I
days.
don't even know if I'm on, but I'm loud enough anyway, so.
Yeah.
You're on. All right, Mark gets nervous about all this, so we can, do you still want to talk?
No, I'm good. I'm just impressed. I'm impressed by the progress here. It's
Pretty amazing.
It's unbelievable. It's actually.
Did you bring our guy
Shout out
Marshall
to the
through
crew.
too?
Marshall's not here.
Oh, he's not here.
Couldn't make
Okay,
it.
okay.
Hang me up here. I'm dangerous.
All right,
All
let's get out of
good,
here.
all good.
All right, thank you, Mark. Thank you. Yes.
He never
Okay,
comes
so
without never empty-handed.
so there we go. So now we got, now we probably have about 300 donuts here would be my guess. Now, thank you again, Day Trader LA and Eddie, their AKA, and then Mark O'Keefe from ICE Data Services. And again, owners of the NYSE, Intercontinental Exchange. That's what ICE is. Whenever I say Mark is here from ICE, I kind of know that maybe means something a little different in the United States than it means here. But as we continue to go, man, now the Qs are up, now 5%. So this is up, 50 cents, but continue to go higher, up 6% now on the day are these TQQs as Ramin goes and fixes the mic. More importantly, of course, fixing this program monitor, but the team is now working on that. So yeah, again, thanks. Nice to see Mark. Great to see him in there. And he, I was actually going to bust him there because he's supposed to be bringing me one of those vests. I want one of those vests.
Oh, you want one of the?
Yeah, I want to see
what do they call them? They call them.
They're finance bros.
Finance bros.
Yeah, right there.
Yes.
So I guess I'm not a finance bro, but finance bros be damned. We are now just cruising to the upside on the day. Thanks everybody for watching. It's been a fantastic show thus far and about to get better. No Sharif today, no problem. It's Obi filling in, right? So the one and the only. coming through with you guys in about a half an hour.
So I was going to look for things to break trend, but spoiler alert, IBIT's not breaking the trend down. So the market bounces, IBIT is trying to, but not. So I can follow the trend on Intel. I was just scanning. Oh, it just came on. It just came on for a second, guys.
It's on.
Now it's back on. You're good, Rob. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Now I can tell when it's actually on my chart. So there's the trend line to the upside, and it holds VWAP. So that's one of the things I love. I like longs above VWAP. I like shorts above VWAP. So I can long in front of the trend line. If it breaks, jump out on Intel. Play it into the high. And hopefully, if we continue to break highs, then we can buy dips as long as the trend line holds. So it's a little bit different from what I'm looking for in IBIT, in that one is going up and one's going down, but it's the same premise. So IBIT, I just missed this refill. Remember, VWAP or a trend line's just a line. Just because it went to the trend line twice for a short does not mean it goes the third time. So the third time it doesn't actually even get to the trend line to get me in. Doesn't mean I shouldn't have reloaded it. Sometimes you have to step a little bit away from the trend line. So I'm gonna sit here maybe in the high 40s and see if we can't get back into that IBIT and resume that one down. If the market breaks the highs and this never participates, then we know we got a good one. And I think that's what you have to do. You have to make sure if you're trading something against the trend of the market, then make sure it's giving you a reason to. And if you can find some place to join, then why not?
Better, yeah.
So I've joined over here in Intel. Why did that not stay? There we go. I think my save's not working. As long as we hold this trend, we're going to play it into the high. The higher time frame also looks good for Intel. I should show you that as well. It's above the 50 period. This is clearly a bounce play from the highs. There's a rounded bottom. So you're breaking out off this rounded bottom with room to, I don't know if it gets to 37, but technically there's room to 37 when you look at the 15-minute chart on this. So there it is. Just wanted to find something that's set up on the charts. You're patient enough, and now we found one that looks like it does with INTC. Do want to keep everyone abreast of what's happening in Tesla. Who was the super chat that wanted 428? I didn't remember.
Oh,
the name. It was,
yeah. Good.
Well, it just hit 428.
Boom.
So whomever that was, you've gotten your fill. Rare seed, Tesla 428. You took 100K in calls at the open. Yes. Porsche type of a day. So we don't have a Porsche key, unfortunately.
We have a Lambo key.
All we have is the Lambo.
Yeah,
you have it, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that key either.
I got it. I
think we. Oh, thank you very much. So shout out to you, Rare Seed. Let's go to Adara.
Yeah, so to let you guys know, I'm seeing some really conflicting analyst takes here on this Fed rate decision as we get comments from Fed's Hammock, who's now saying we're, quote, right around the neutral rate. So again, that would be a little bit hawkish. But let's talk about these analyst notes. So we have Wells Fargo saying that the Fed should be cutting in December. So at this meeting on December 10th. Then we've got Morgan Stanley saying they no longer see a December cut and they only see 3 cuts for next year. So again, very different analyst takes here on the path of rates going forward as we continue to get comments from one of the most hawkish Feds lately, Fed's Hammock. Back to you. We also got EIA natural gas numbers as well, so just be aware if you're trading gas. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rob. We have now been all
working
fixed up there, and thanks to Mark O'Keefe there from ICE, Intercontinental Exchange. But yeah, I didn't call ICE. He just came on it by himself. So there it is right now. I mean, there's another play right there. So we'll just go props up to anybody that was following or trailing any of the trades here today. We are going to go 3 for 3, and 3 for 3 big time too. These are not small trades, guys. These are big trades for me here today. And I think that's, moving forward, that's really what we're going to try to do all the time, is try to put on, obviously that's what we try to do here, is put on trades, but I'm focusing for myself like more on trying to be very, very specific. Well, we both are. I'm just speaking for myself right now, but trying to be specific on, where we're getting in, where we're getting out, and then the specific names. And I'm only trading 3, and actually to hold 3 right now is something. I'm still in half of the Alibaba, so that's a little bit of a bigger spot for me. This has already came out. We've already gotten out of this a couple times. So I'm going to take one more out right now, and now we have about 5% left of Google. So it's really, really small position now on this. But this is really, just to let you guys know, this is about 3/4 of my day is Google. Like, it came into the level, we believed in it, it's a level that we wrote down, so we hammered it once and then hammered it twice. So that's 3/4 of my day. We didn't get as many shares on TQs as we wanted to. We literally missed it by 1 penny. Like I think if I was on another gateway, I might have got it. I was on NASDAQ or ARCA, so maybe there was something there, but that could have been even a bigger trade, but we're still happy to be in it there. And then Alibaba, just starting to turn out well now too. So 3 for 3 there today on trades, and yeah, they all just made sense. I think that's really what you're looking for. The result is the result, right? I mean, you know, we can't control where this market's going, that's for sure. So you just got to do the best you can with the information that's in front of you. And, you know, like Alibaba's coming back in, so I'm trying to get a little bit out there. And here come the market, maybe a little bit, so we can take advantage of this, because our biggest position is BABA, but we still have something on the queue, so let's offer out some 19s and get them. Then we'll offer out some 22s and get those as well. But so far, so good there. On today, and I've only traded these 3 names, but they've been doing pretty good there, and it's only 10:30 right now. It's OB.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. Lots of earnings tonight. Webull tonight. We have OB and where's Joe?
I have some mild.
Huh?
We haven't seen Joe this morning.
Have you?
Yeah, shoot. I don't think I have seen Joe this morning.
Okay, so no Joe yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking a lot. I'm like, you're so much in a routine. I find that in my head, it's like, yeah, sure, of course I saw him. No, that was yesterday when Yeah, so I guess we haven't seen Joe. We'll see what's going on there. But quickly, it's a line in a chart, and just because it held once, technically twice, that was my bad for not shorting it. The second time, the third time it didn't. There was a quote jump on open, so I got out. I was going to say on it, but that also would be true. So I'm out of it unless it regains trend. It's marginally above VWAP, but this still looks like a bit of a trend break. And look at the volume spike. You guys can see that very clearly. That's the other reason. Biggest volume candle of the day, including the 930 candle. So when you see that happen, that's another reason to assume that something has changed, especially if it runs through your stop. I'm not going to jump back in automatically if it wicks. So Intel trends pretty much to where it got at 930 and rejected, which is up at about 46, 47. So it gives you that quarter move. It can hold a trend here, but I have to be concerned with the volume weighted average price as well. So I want to see it maybe get back down in the 20s for that reload. And if it goes, it goes. IBIT, see, that's a little frustrating, but IBIT just broke the low of the day again. Well, for people that wanted the decoupling, it's still happening. But that does mean in this particular case that IBIT's weak, right? Or Bitcoin is weak, I should say. So what are we at, 90,300? Well, I'd have to guesstimate here. It's 90,000 is going to be, it's somewhere in around, I think it's under 51, but somewhere in and around there, you're going to lose 51. Ideally, I want to stay on trend and short it before it breaks 90. That's the plan of action. I can't guarantee it's going to do a pop one more time. But I managed to miss that third trend line, the test on the trend line for the short. Should not miss the fourth one. So Intel, we're going to stick with that one to the long side. And let us know what other names you're looking at. I know there's that SGBX.
Yes,
right? That's what it is. SGBX, that's the one. I just typed it in wrong just now. That one's moving pretty well, sea green, but notice how it's underneath the volume weighted average price. I know that can be something for people to watch. It's not all bad. I know it's broken trend, doesn't look very good right now, but it's still above the prior high. So there's a place that it could, in theory, settle down and maybe give you something for a return into the long. Typically, once it does that kind of a reversal, I know a lot of traders will stay away from them in the small cap land. I don't necessarily disagree, but it doesn't look completely done just yet. There's that one really and not much else. I wouldn't put BBAI in that category. It's like, I know it's a small cap, but it's kind of a little bit different. It trades not the same way as some of those other gappers do. Like, you can trade it pretty much every day, not just on the day that it's gapping. And that's holding on some strength. So those are a couple of names that we have not covered at the top of the list here. Just those and SoFi, which I think you looked at least.
Yeah, Joe's on his way, so no fear on that one. Yeah, so just the same kind of talk. Alibaba comes right back up, and we can have a quick little look at some other names, of course, as today Neil just did a whole little bit of a rundown there, but what a day it is to be long in the general market. I mean, you get a big boost up in the financials, which has been really good there today. Amazon finally bumping. There's Walmart. Walmart making the switch over to the NASDAQ, so that should be an exciting opportunity for all those kind of traders that look to, take advantage of that switch over, up 6% on earnings. Good earnings, not great, but you know, TJX, we had Target yesterday. Of course, not the greatest report yesterday from TGT. We can check in on them, but that's the retail side of things. Costco getting a bump up as well today. I think a lot of that Walmart trade is probably you know, due to the fact that there was, again, good quarter, nothing wrong. We are heading into the Christmas season, so I think there's opportunities there. We had talked about that, but Walmart, again, like down into that $100 level, what a great level that's been, and we're getting ready to go take out all-time highs again for Walmart. So just a shot up right there, right off the open. Man, do they like that report today, and they like the news that they're moving over December 9th over there into the NQs. So shout out to NASDAQ trading. They're going to have a new participant pretty soon. But now we are now $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 now in the money on our good friend, and it's definitely a good friend of mine, both in the long-term portfolio and here day trading for all of you as well. Google, again, the number one trade idea that I had today was Google long at 300. Why did we take that? I mean, obviously a key level. You know, anytime you get down to, or up to, or down to, you know, the $100 level on Robinhood, whenever that comes through, if it does, $300 here on Google. We just played it, man. It was the 200 period moving average. It wasn't that when we had thought about it. We had actually written down here today that we wanted the long 300, but then I wrote down 296 as a potential problem. And I just want everybody to know, like, this is the way that I trade. And when I put this on, I said my stop was 299.50. It's actually still in there. So this trade was, where are we long at? 325 cents. So this is 75 cents plus slippage worth of move. This is now 530 cents in the money. So, you know, these kind of things is what I'm trying to look for here, almost on the regular, where there's a risk to reward that makes sense. And, you know, a little bit of a longer, you know, risk there, you know, and, you know, you just got to wait for the trades to come through. And like right here on the TQs, my stop was 52.50. We actually talked about that break as well. I think I put it down to 52.40, but there you go, right? This is 20 cents worth of a break for 75 cents now. So this is what we're doing. And I mean, if, you know, this is not the pot calling the kettle black or anything like that. This is what we do. Like there's the stop on BABA. Get stopped out there, then run it right back there to the upside again. So it's like take a small hit, but then cash back in if you like the trade still. We realized that once we got out, there was an opportunity to get back in there because we did wick that bottom. So I like that sort of profile, and then right back up again against the low. So, you know, sometimes it works out, and just recently it's really been working out, including Google, TQQs, and it's Alibaba is the one that's in problem right now. But, you know, we talk about all this, and it's NVIDIA's day today, and they're just chilling out right near at 194. So we'll wait to see if NVIDIA actually wants to move today or not. Its brother or sister, AMD, kind of not doing anything either. So although this has been a big chip day, it's kind of just a muted move early on these names. And yeah, there's other names.
Well, this is the sort of the thing. It's a weird one because a name that you would expect, after NVIDIA's earnings, if I told you that Broadcom would be trading at the high of the day with the market, you'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But would you have thought to say, without NVIDIA doing it, it's weird to me. Like Broadcom somehow is going to be strong. I mentioned, you know, Intel for whatever reason. Like it is what it is, man. Like most days, you're not going to see me sit there and argue that if Nvidia and AMD are trending down, Intel should be trending up. Most of the time, I'd be telling you, oh, this is just a matter of time before this goes down. But it's trending higher, so it kind of is what it is. And then SMCI. I know we're going to go to Adair in a quick little second. SMCI is really trending down. So that's still holding true. This stock just feels like a sell 80% of the time for whatever reason. So you've got a really weird thing happening, especially with the chip names, where they tend to be all over the place so far this morning. There's no unity whatsoever. Let's go to Adara at the desk. I believe it's time to see Sector Watch.
Not too much to say here, guys. As Sean said, it's nice to see a bright green sector board, but that does mean we have a little bit less to talk about. The only sector where there is a bit of weakness is health tech. AbbVie and Abbott Labs, both lightly red, but everything else here green. Producer manufacturing strong, consumer durables notably strong. Transportation, another area with a little bit of weakness. You've got DoorDash and Uber both red, but the rest of the sector, much like the rest of the market, strong. Energy minerals, great. Retail trade being aided by a nice move in Walmart here with their earnings day one. Finance green, electronic tech and tech services green, with the notable exception of PanW on earnings, a little bit weak here in tech services, and Micron actually down 2% here in electronic technology. Other than that, though, these tech sectors are generally strong, and so is the rest of this market. Back to Sean and Neil. Make sure to like and subscribe.
All right.
Buying dips on AbbVie.
Yeah, I like AbbVie. AbbVie's been one of those names that I bought like when I was a little wee one. I like AbbVie there.
I need something other than Eli Lilly in the healthcare space.
Yeah, I just have XBI and Eli.
I know. I only own Eli Lilly in that space. Oh, anyways.
Now
I
$6
just
on
saw an
Google, by the
IBM
way.
chart.
Oh yeah, I like IBM too. IBM just bouncing off its 50-day moving average there.
I was bidding this one for Nvidia earnings, obviously. Let's just say if you were bidding this one anywhere lower on Nvidia earnings, suffice to say you did not get filled. But that is what it is. IBM's a super strong stock. This is a quantum play. Google and IBM are Softy too, are definitely the better plays in terms of security if you want to play quantum. There's no question about it. You have a little bit of something. Like still got some some D wave that you let it ride, but ultimately, do you feel safe in those? No, you want to ring the register and play with house money. Well, hopefully, I want Bitcoin to join this trend. It's just not doing it. So just got to be patient, right? Like wait, like for myself, if I can't find a zone of entry where I know where I want to exit and where I know I want to make sure I'm executing in, really only in the one area. If I don't see it, then it isn't there, and it's still just a short. I want it to be a long. It's just not happening yet here over on IBIT. Starvin says you agree. Rigetti though? Oh, you're joking. Yeah. No, Rigetti goes into that category. Which if you're in quantum and you're like, okay, well, I have 20 times the amount or 10 times the amount of shares in Google or IBM than I do in Rigetti or D-Wave, I don't think that's unreasonable, right? Like, I think that's actually perfectly reasonable. Like, if you've rung the register and say you have one of these and like you have 10%, like you have $10,000, just I like that number, and you have 1,000 in Rigetti and you've got $9,000 in IBM or Google, I think that's a pretty reasonable way to look at quantum. You get ridiculous upside if one of these guys hit the jackpot because they could go whatever, but you're not going to get rinsed if it goes to zero.
You guys have already hit the jackpot by finding this show. So, and there it is right now. Neil, it's $6 now on Google as we just continue to go higher, man. Play, as to Neil's point, man, sometimes you just got to make the easy trade, and Google into everyone's portfolio does definitely make a lot of sense. So congratulations to anybody that's been having this success trading this way. That's why I asked if anybody in the chat trades like me right here. So, okay, Google, oh, here we go. Bought SoundHound. Okay, we like that, WRD. Let me check that out right now for you on SoundHound. What does it say? Wow, thanks for helping me become a better trader. You are welcome. You can become a better dancer if you do that floss as well. All right, yeah, good little look there on SoundHound. It looks like over the last 2 days, starting to bump higher right now. So yeah, for me, an AI play, definitely there. They were teamed up with Nvidia. I'm not sure what's going on there. So I don't know the macro too much with SoundHound right now, but this looks pretty good, man. Breaking back up through the 200 period moving average. These are names and areas of concern that I look for, right? And so that's another great little level there. Definitely, you never want to buy falling knives, and I think we do a good job of talking about that, and that is what it was. But if you had just recently bought it, that's good, because now you're starting to retrace back up. My good friend there, Brian Shannon, mentions a 5-day moving average to see if, we've got to get going once it breaks that. I would say SoundHound, and I don't have it up right now, but it's probably pretty darn close to breaking through that, if not broken already. So nice play there on SoundHound. I like the vibe that you're giving off there on that trade. So, you know, congratulations for SoundHound, especially if you were long yesterday. If you're just long today, again, like the stock, and now you have an out, right? You can use this $11 marker or something like that as your out underneath that level. So, yeah, good trading there, SoundHound. You know, must be nice to put that on, that's for sure. Congrats on that. $6 there, still 70 cents on the TQs, but we are emptying out the clip here on this for sure, as they're starting to get a little bit over, maybe, I don't know about overbought, but I can see some of the, you know, mojo maybe coming out of this, as we've just hit the high of the day now twice. So that's names coming back in right now. So we'll take out another piece here. It's only 13 more minutes until we're out of here. And then we go over to the midday show. But we're at 3 times right now our daily goal. We hit a good, we were 4 or 5 yesterday. So we're kind of taking care of the week here just in 2 days, which is really nice to see. But again, you know, at the end of the day, looking for good trades. This Alibaba is not going to be the greatest one. So we didn't even get to VWAP there, as the market is now up 2.5%, or sorry, 2 3/4, 2.25% to the upside. Look what Alibaba's doing. So if I'm not even going to reload this. Like, we've already gotten out. We'll take the L on this if that is what winds up happening. But right now, Alibaba, just straight pressure down. So the Chinese potential, as Nvidia maybe gets stronger here, Alibaba coming back in. And I don't even know if Nvidia is getting stronger. Nah, it's not really doing anything right now. So it's me right now in 3 positions. Neil clean right now. Sean, where do we see, well, now, see, you have to ask me a question. I'm just talking forever. Where do I see Google today? Honestly, I mean, I've been getting out. I have less than 5% left, but it's hard to give a prediction, because now it's clear blue skies, right? Clear sailing now to the upside. So I would say on no news today for Google specifically. I mean, we did have the Gemini news from yesterday. We did break through 300. I'm happy right now. I think a 4.5% move up, doubling the NASDAQ, is good. So I wouldn't get too greedy, man. The NASDAQ could pull back. We knew it was going to be a big day, but up 2% is a great day. So for me, great question. Thanks for asking it. This is why, like, we just got out another piece here. Now I have less than 3% left of this Google trade, so definitely piecing it out. Look, I got most of them out on this last little run up through 305. So again, thank you for asking. And I'm glad that you've obviously have some today if you're wondering where to get out. So great trading over there. And yeah, great trading with Neil. And hopefully we can continue it throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah, you just got to try to stay consistent, right? So you noted that, well, obviously I'm out of Intel right now, but if it's holding the trend, that's my reason to get in. And I waited until it was dual confirmation, simply hold VWAP, hold the trend line, but when it breaks the trend line, I'm out. And I might get back into VWAP, but it's not automatic. You know, I still like it on the 15-minute setup, but when you break trend, and it's breaking trend on the higher time frame, you've got to show me something positive on the 15-minute again at this time of day for me to get back in. So maybe it ends up being 36. Like, there's lots of ways that this could turn around and go back to the upside on a higher time frame, but it looks like it just snagged out. So, you know, I get out of it. I don't try to hold all the way back in to break even. Of course, Bitcoin hasn't broken 90,000 yet, but it is, like, we're close. Like, it's really close to breaking down 90,000. It's still on trend for now. I was pretty geared up to reverse and go long this, so I wasn't really thinking continue short. I kind of felt like we were going to be breaking out there. It hasn't happened. We're going to get a 90,000 break somewhere around 51. And this is what happened like yesterday. There's trend down into the 90,000 level and then the continuation after the fact. So I want to see it break down. There's always a chance we could break it back into the upside. So those are 2 names that I'm watching. There was some traction on Open Door after, like, the initial flush was able to hold to the low, tried VWAP again, and then it just simply broke out. Now it's starting to look strong on Open Door, oddly enough, since that volume spike. I didn't find any news for that volume spike. It was a pretty big one, but it's starting to hold VWAP. It's on my radar for a potential long. If this can start to make a trend like Intel did to the upside, then I would jump into this and work it into the $7 area. So, you know, that's what I'm waiting for next. We only have about 10 minutes left, but that's just, you know, 11 o'clock just when we switch over. It doesn't mean, oh, you know, it's not like the end of the day, right? Like, it's just, I might get in a position at 11:25 or like 10:58. It doesn't really make a difference whether it's 11 o'clock or not. But it is the time of day where the setup has to look good on a higher time frame chart for sure. Because I think if you trade on a 1 or 3 minute throughout lunchtime, to me, that leads to overtrading, and overtrading usually leads to inconsistency. You have to consistently make sure that you listen to Adara, though, because she keeps us abreast of what's important.
Let's take a look at this US dollar, because if you zoom in here, that's an interesting little double top for the DXY just below that 104 area. Now let's see if we continue to see these higher highs and higher lows here for the US dollar. But right now, a nice look on the daily chart. Here's our Fed expectations here. Still have 60.4% of participants expecting that rates are going to be held in place. 39.6% expecting that 25 basis point cut. This is significant because we did get labor market data that, for September anyway, stronger than expected. NFP is now, again, the biggest reason a lot of the Feds are citing for a need to potentially cut rates would be labor market weakness. We didn't see that in September, but again, it's a bit difficult because this does obfuscate from the fact that we actually don't have October data coming. So that'll be kind of interesting to see what the Fed does here. We know Wells Fargo just said that they actually now see a really good case for a December rate cut. Morgan Stanley, meanwhile, axed that December rate cut out of their projections. They say 3 cuts in 26. Back to you.
All right, yeah, we saw that number was about like 29% or so at the beginning of the day, if not a little bit lower. So it's nice to see that bump up there on good.
Oh, there's an IP.
I mean, it's not a great, first of all, Palantir, what? I was not even expecting this. Okay, we don't want to be in Palantir, I don't think. I mean, the market is coming into VWAP right now, and Palantir's rate, okay, well, this is a fine level for us. Breaking through 169, I don't even have that stop out here. Yeah, if we break through 169, let's go 168. I don't have very many shares right now. 168.74 or so on Palantir to break, and we do want to make sure that we get a little bit more longer if it does fall in here. But the NASDAQ has come right into our levels one more time. So I'm going to bid 169 flat here and then give it that quarter or so of a move back in now for PLTR. Let's see what that winds up doing. So a nice little move higher right now. Hey, man, when you're good, you're good. And I don't think that I'm that good, so I don't know what's going on here. But there's another win for us there on Palantir as it just goes bump in the night, right back up, man. Hey, we'll take it if we can get it. We're long at 25s. We just got some out at 50. Now I'm at 55, get another piece out right there. But you know, we're going to stop out if it breaks through that 168.75. So far, so good right there. We are looking to reload the TQs as well, if that can come down. But yeah, so far, not too bad right there. A quick couple outs there on Palantir. We'll see. That came in too quick, man. I didn't even realize that was happening. And I'm not sure. I don't necessarily want to reload this TQQ trade at VWAP, especially now that I just got Palantir. We are very, very light on everything else. But I'm going to try it down here if we can on the Qs one more time and stop out this time if it breaks 50s. I think we said that before. So that's going to be my stop there on the TQQs. We'll see about a small little reload there.
Just one note, I forgot to mention we have an IPO today. It's only $500 million in total notional value based on where they priced it, although I guess they're not going to get that. So the issue price, I see $23.75. It's CBC over on the NASDAQ. So $23.75 is the issue price. It's indicating $22.50. So it's going to open lower. Well, that makes it pretty easy. I'm not taking the IPO long. So no IPO long for me on this name. Size was decent, but if you're going to open up lower, forget about it. The idea usually, if you're going to take the opening print, is I want oversubscription. I want it 40% higher, and everyone's just piling into it. If they can't even hold the bid before it even opens up, then I don't want any piece of it. But there is, like I said, we'll cover it because it's an IPO, and then someone's like, hey, there was an IPO today. You guys didn't look at it. There you go, CBC. Don't know what they do.
No.
Now, it's, you know what, that's the other thing. If I don't know it, like offhand, then oftentimes that means it's not hyped, right? Like we all knew Figma. We all knew, obviously, bullish.
Yep.
Just thinking about the last few circles. Like we knew them coming into it. Like the average person knew them. Maybe not the average person, but the average trader or investor would have known those names. I don't know this CBC stock, which doesn't help it either. So I wanted to see if we could hold VWAP here on Intel. It's not looking bad on the 3-minute, but then I said, well, what does it look like on the 15? And still, I don't see a reason to be in this on the 15-minute. So yes, it's at the volume-weighted average price, but I don't think I go back into the long until after 11 o'clock on this, or something very, very distinct. Seems like we're just trending down into a potential break of the lows, which brings me to IBIT All roads lead back to IBIT and 90,000. We're now $100 away from IBIT breaking 90,000. I think I'm just going to eyeball it. Like, I'm going to watch it. Here, I'm looking up and not showing you. I'm going to watch 90,000 in particular. If I see it cleanly holding underneath, then I'll try to, like scalp under whatever that price might be. It's not, I don't think it's 51 exactly, but it's pretty darn close to this 51 level almost perfectly. And if you're asking why not just trade IBIT, Bitcoin, and we can here at Real Trading, it's just, your risk is in equity, so the ETF is just a much easier way to express the trade for us here. It's the same buying power, it's the same account, it's the same P&L. You show up in the same spot in risk. All that's different if you actually trade Bitcoin. Not that you can't. Let's go to Adair.
Yeah, these timings of these economic releases seem ever changing, and it continues because the Commerce Department just announced that apparently U.S. GDP and personal income reports initially set to be released on November 26th, so next Wednesday, they're going to be rescheduled. So GDP here and personal income reports set for November 26th, rescheduled. Seems like TBD right now, but of course, I will keep you all posted. Back to you.
It's funny because you come back right here, and I mean, now we've got Palantir in the pocket, winning on that one. That is now just 20 cents in the money as it continues to climb upside there. And we do have the TQs. Okay, we're reloaded. We told you we were going to get reloaded, but let's see how far this name goes. We just took a couple outs right there at the 200 period, moving average again on the reload. But there goes, so we just took profit in Palantir, and then it just whooshed down there again. So we'll eventually, actually there, we go slightly red there on Palantir. So that's up and down, and that kind of came in unexpected. So, when that happens, you sort of take the good with the bad there, but we got to hurry up and do what's for lunch right now, because I got to go swimming. All right, today, Japan is the feel on the day for the type of cuisine that we have. And it's not sushi, of course. You can't travel that well.
That would be a problem.
There was sushi.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah, Korean bulgogi beef, which we've had many times, soba noodles, stir-fried vegetables, and of course, an Asian salad. So beef, noodles, stir-fried veggie, and the beef will just be on top of our salad. I think that's a win here today. So
I'll take it. Also to have, I mean, we have a copious amounts of pastries.
Oh my gosh, too many.
Mark brought it's a box of cookies. I can see it from here. There's like a box of cookies. I've already eaten one donut. My way of being disciplined is I will eat my entire salad before I have a cookie.
There we go.
But I am absolutely going to have a cookie. So we just broke 90,000. We only have like a minute to go here, but we just broke 90K. Oh, I should show you this. Is that refreshed? Yeah, so ETH broke 3,000 a while ago, it seems. Yeah, so ETH broke 3,000. We're breaking 90,000. There was a bit of a chop the first time through at 90K yesterday, as evidenced by, like, see this? Like this was it breaking down the first time. This was it breaking down for good. So you did have a bit of rejection back and forth. So I want to see that settle out a little bit here. But Bitcoin, hey, at no point was this, it had a little bounce, but at no point has this been trending up. You can say whatever you want about the goodness of Nvidia, but it doesn't seem to extend to crypto as we continue to languish for a little bit here. It is 11 o'clock, of course. We'll be back at 2 o'clock. We'll be back at 2 o'clock, of course, and we're going to enjoy this beef. We'll see how it goes. But you've got a special treat today. You've got Obi, and of course, Joe. Sharif on vacation, enjoying
Joby.
Yeah, you got Joby.
You're going to be trading some Joby today.
He's enjoying himself in Cabo. Well, I guess maybe he's not there yet. I have no idea.
Who knows?
But he's enjoying much better weather than we are. That's for sure. And you guys are about to enjoy a fantastic show middle of the day.
Go.
Go get him, Obi. Go get him, Joe.